talk about championship-winning programs on the Gulf Coast, you can't have a discussion without mentioning the two teams we have facing off tonight. Between them are 12 state titles and more than 40 region crowns. At stake in this contest is an opportunity for either team to remain undefeated in region play and get one step closer to making the playoffs. Can UMS Wright come in and pull off the upset, or will Vigor claim another victim in the Wolves' Den? Let's find out now with the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Good evening, I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Cory Bounty. We're glad you're with us. Cory, this is an early season test for both teams.
Absolutely. 5A Region 1 early competition here, in a difference making in weather-wise. And I know that both of these coaches have prepared their teams very well, and we're expected to see an outstanding contest tonight.
Yes, we are. Matter of fact, let's take it down to the field for our national anthem being performed by the Vigor Wolfpack Band. Speaking of one step closer, Cory, there's our national anthem, so we're definitely closer to kickoff. So for these two teams tonight, let's get into Cory's checklist. What do we need to be on the lookout for from UMS Wright and Vigor, Cory?
Well, first of all, let's take a look at the UMS Wright Bulldogs. They need to limit explosive plays from the Vigor Wolfpack offense. This Vigor Wolfpack offense comes in averaging close to 44.7 points per game. Have explosive athletes all over the field. Controlling the clock, Terry Curtis has been known to go ahead and make sure, look, I may not have as many athletes as you do, but if I can control that clock, I can keep some of your best athletes on the sidelines and be field position pros. What do I mean by that? Being able to flip the field on special teams, whether it is fake field goals, fake punts, or just punting the football away and pinning the Wolfpack deep in their own territory. For the Vigor Wolves, they must be disciplined tonight. You don't want to have a huge explosive play and have it called back due to a holding penalty or some type of procedure penalty that takes points off of the board. Special teams coverage is going to be critical because Terry Curtis, he's not the winningest coach in Alabama high school sports football history for not having a few special teams tricks up his sleeve, and it's the 9-1-3 versus everybody mentality. What do I mean by that? This is where we're located at 913 North Wilson Avenue in Pritchard, Alabama, and they have embraced the mentality that the only team that can beat them is themselves.
That's right, Cory. We'll be checking back with you later on during the broadcast to see how things unfold with your checklist. I will say this, it is a much better night tonight than it was last week, my brother. So let's check in with Kimberly Dunn for our BSN weather forecast.
Al, you said it right. Tonight is a great night for Friday night high school football, and both of these teams are excited to get a region win, hopefully, tonight. And our temperatures look great. We are going to be staying in the low 80s, high 70s, and the humidity is actually down this week as well, starting in the 70s and only working its way up to the low 80s. There's a slight breeze tonight, so these players should have some great playing conditions to get ready for tonight's competition.
Thank you, Kimberly. We'll be checking back with her during the broadcast. Of course, she's right about that breeze. We felt it down on the field as we talked to Terry Curtis earlier. So speaking of the impact from weather, who will be our impact players for tonight's ball game?
Yeah, you look at the UMS Wright Bulldogs, the visitors on the scoreboard. We're going to go right back to their running back, number 14, Bo Wills III. He is a senior who has over 300 yards rushing. He will definitely get a lot of carries for Coach Curtis tonight. We'll see if he's able to get yards after contact. Defensively, linebacker Jeff Holston. He is a senior, has 35 tackles and 1 sack. He is very active defensively. And I know you also have for the Vigor Wolves, I think that Sammy Dunn is a dynamic playmaker. He's a quarterback that is transferred in from Bayside Academy. He has 9 passing, 3 rushing touchdowns, over 516 yards passing. Kentonio Kelly is our reigning 3A lineman of the year, and he has made this Wolfpack program his new home and has done a tremendous job being a tackling machine for the Wolfpack from his middle linebacker position, already having over 30 solo tackles for Vigor.
Definitely looking forward to those players having an impact tonight, and we know they will, Cory, because this is a 5A Region 1 battle. Very ironic, you and I talked about this on your show today. Vigor is playing UMS Wright. Citronelle is playing Williamson. Those are the only undefeated region teams in 5A Region 1, so it's kind of interesting. All the unbeaten teams are playing each other tonight.
Well, it's going to be, where do you want to finish as far as at the end of the night? Will you continue to be ranked number 1, or will you separate yourself? Friday Night Lights, trying to figure out 5A Region 1 right here on the MCPSS television network. Can't wait.
You cannot wait. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and give you the coin toss right here for UMS versus Vigor, our MCPSS high school football game of the week.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms, and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
We are live at Wolfpack Stadium. Our head referee, Paul Brooks, walking out the captains to the middle of the field. So we'll take it down to the field for our coin toss for tonight. Captains are greeting each other down on the field. We don't have the audio from Paul Brooks, but Cory, after doing these games for some years and watching them from the house, we can pretty much tell who's going to win the toss and lose the toss.
Yeah, one of the great things that you love about being selected as a captain, that means you are the leader of your team. So you're expected, as Mr. Brooks is explaining to these young men, to be leaders on the team, to make sure that if you have any questions, that you direct them toward the official, and that, again, you exercise great sportsmanship at all times. And UMS Wright being on the road wearing that white jersey with a little bit of crimson or maroon, depending on how your color blindness is, your color palette is. I think that we're in a situation to where we're going to see some tremendous high school football tonight, 5A Region 1, Al. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to go ahead and win it.
So Vigor won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. So UMS will get the ball to start us off here in this 5A Region 1 contest. Take a look at our officials for tonight, led by our white hat Paul Brooks. We have David Powell, Scott LaForce, John Hicks, Anthony Rabb, Chad Burns, and Lyman Collins. They'll be putting in the work tonight here at Wolfpack Stadium. We're just moments away from getting a kickoff. Actually, Cory, I just realized the teams haven't run out on the field yet.
No, they're going to run through those banners as only you can do on Friday Night Lights. That's what makes it so exciting, and we'll get a chance to hear both schools strike up their fight song for their school.
And speaking of both bands, last week Baker was in attendance, but they did not play during halftime. It was only Davidson last week in that monsoon, that storm we had over there at Warrior Stadium. So nothing like that expected tonight. That BSN weather forecast Kimberly Dunn gave us looks to be crystal clear. Might be a little humid, but we don't have any chances for precipitation tonight.
No, and that's something to keep an eye on. You mentioned that Coach McKenzie loves conditioning of his team. When we had them in the first game of the year versus the Matty T. Blunt Leopards, we didn't see a lot of cramping by his team.
No.
And he had only been with them, getting them conditioned for a little over a month and a half. And now here it is, 3 games into the season. The conditioning continues to get better for the Wolfpack. And Terry Curtis always has his teams prepared and ready to play.
Something we talked about today when I was on your show interview. This is UMS Wright's first appearance on the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. We've been trying to get them on for a couple of years, but a lot of folks may realize, why couldn't you do them against LaFleur or do them against one of these teams? A lot of times, if it's the MCPSS school is the away team, we can't go to that facility. So we kind of had to wait for the schedule makers to get things together. So it fell in our lap tonight, Cory. We get UMS Wright versus Vigor. First time we've had Terry Curtis and his team on the broadcast. And speaking of Terry Curtis, you said it. He's the state's all-time winningest head coach. He's in his 26th year at UMS Wright. And we'll give you some coaches' comparison numbers later on. And when you see him, Cory, some folks will be like, wait a minute. Are we talking about one guy won all those games? So quite a tremendous battle we're going to have here tonight with UMS Wright and Vigor.
And you mentioned in your pregame talk about 9 state championships have been won by UMS, and then you look at Vigor being state champs in 87, 88, 08, 21. So 12 total state championships. 12. Just an amazing feat here by both of these schools when you look at the fact that we're going to get a chance to see some great and outstanding former legends that have played here in Pritchard, Alabama. Some great legends at UMS Wright as well. And, man, strike up the band that's right in front of us. Friday Night Lights getting ready to get started.
And as a matter of fact, the Wolf is howling here at Wolfpack Stadium. We can hear it. Malik Fremont on to kick off for Vigor. He has been out for a couple weeks. We saw him in week 1, but Coach McKenzie told us he's been out, but he is now making a return. Back to receive for UMS. Bo Wheels taken by one of the up guys, James Holland. Gets nice return right there for UMS. Let's take a look at that offense. Sophomore quarterback Max Fowler leads the Bulldogs on the field with no passing touchdowns and 2 interceptions. UMS Wright is a run-heavy offense, so look for senior fullback Bo Wills to carry the load. Will averages nearly 7 yards per carry and has 2 scores. Running back Perry Hand will also tote the rock as well, averaging just over 4 yards a carry. Up front, the entire line is new, with junior left tackle Christian Holloway having the most experience of the bunch. The Bulldogs average only 191 pounds across the front.
Yeah, in the trenches is what we're going to keep an eye on. It's just going to be fundamentally sound blocking for the Bulldogs up front, because they're definitely outweighed up front as they have it in great field position to begin this game at their own 41-yard line. 1st
and 10 from the 41. Shot of Max Fowler right there. Man goes into motion for the Bulldogs. They get it out quickly, trying to get some offense, instant offense. Pass completed to Denton Elliott. He picks up about 4 or 5 second down for UMS Wright.
And how do you negate the lack of size on the line? You let your quarterback let it loose quickly and get it out of his hand within 1 second. Denton Elliott makes his 6th reception of the season, gaining a good 5 yards for Coach Curtis and his offense.
2nd and 5. Wheels just to the left of Fowler. They give it to him. The big senior plows ahead. Should have enough for the first down, Cory.
And that's just positive yardage, hitting the hole hard, and you get a first down and move the sticks on your first possession.
UMS Wright up to the 48-yard line of Vigor. We'll hold off on that lineup here for a second. UMS getting ready to snap it. We'll come back to it. Substitutions coming in for the Bulldogs. Just past the midfield stripe, early action here with UMS Wright and Vigor. Wills goes into motion. And off to Perry Hand. He picks up about 1 on the carry, met by the Vigor Wolves defense.
Kentonio Kelly, the 5'11", 211-pound senior middle linebacker on the stop, but Perry Hand is able to get 1 yard. And what's going to be important is on those first and second downs to get at least 4 or 5 yards to make it very much more manageable. And Terry Curtis is the offensive coordinator. And what I love about the winningest football coach of all time in high school football here in the state of Alabama, he calls his own plays and does so without a play sheet. All of it's done from his memory.
Doesn't even wear a headset. We'll get a shot of him later on in the game. Kind of an oddity, Cory. Fowler's going to keep it. Plows up the middle. Gains about 2 or 3. Gets past the 45 up to the 44. So it's going to be 3rd and about 4 yards to go here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, this is where you have the big offensive line that you wish you had to be able to make that push. And with the first money down of the game at 3rd down and 6 yards to go for the Bulldogs, Terry Curtis, we saw him on that first play get the ball out very quick from Fowler to Denton Elliott. We'll see if they try to utilize that speed on the perimeter, as well as they have 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen and 2 to the bottom as well.
Perry Hand just to the left of Fowler. They fake it, little play action. Across the middle they go. Pass incomplete to Thomas Portacci. It's going to take UMS Wright to 4th down. And let's see if they'll punt or they'll go for it. Kind of sitting in no man's land here, but I believe they're going to bring on the punting crew.
Kamari White, 5'10", 185-pound senior rover, is able to make the play. But this is where Terry Curtis, I told you special teams, he always has tricks up in his sleeve. So you have to be solid from a special team standpoint. You also want to be able to flip the field here as well.
Denton Elliott puts his foot into it. Jamarian Osborne is going to stay away from it, and UMS is going to down it at about the 15. Take a look at this Vigor offense. The Wolves are led by quarterback Sammy Dunn. He's a 65% passer with just over 500 yards in the air. 9 scores, 3 on the ground. No interceptions. He'll hand the speedster running back Carlos Benjamin Jr., who provides instant offense for the Wolves. When Vigor passes, look for Dunn to hit receiver Garrett Holcomb. Holcomb averages 24 yards a catch, and he has 4 scores. Up front, Vigor's offensive line averages 237 pounds, led by senior left tackle Jamari Barnes and Alabama State commit center Tykerius Tucker. The Wolves are +5 in turnover margin.
Well, we'll see right here if the poundage up front, the big uglies for Vigor on the offensive line are able to get some push, and we'll see the balance here of Coach McKenzie's offense and see what Sammy Dunn is able to do, our big impact player.
1st and 10 for the Wolves. They go play action, going to the air, and no, Dunn is sacked by the Bulldogs. They eat him up, push him back to about the 9-yard line.
Mac McGinley, the 5'10", 146-pound senior, picks up his 3rd sack of the season and does a great job coming from that left defensive end. Dunn, when he turned around, really had nowhere to throw it. He tried to pump once, and not enough time, not enough blocking. 2nd and 16 yards to go for the Wolfpack.
Vigor at their own 9-yard line. Benjamin just to the right. They toss it out to him. He's got speed. Gets past the 10, but he is wrapped up by the Bulldogs. Picks up a couple. 3rd and long coming up here for the Wolves.
Great job of pursuit by this UMS Wright defense. Only giving up 5.3 points per game. Defensive coordinator Jay Cozio on the call here for this Bulldogs defense. And you look at them, they come out and they try to be 3-4 base, but they're also multiple at times, can put you in a 3-3 as well, 3-3 stack. So we'll see here what Vigor can come up with.
Bunch set to the top. One man goes into motion. Dunn has time, goes across the middle. Pass appears to be complete. Dylan Jackson, second leading receiver for the Wolves. That's going to be a first down for Vigor.
Absolutely threaded the needle in between two UMS Wright Bulldog defenders. Dylan Jackson, the 5'7", 165-pound senior, comes away with a huge catch. That's his 7th reception. You see Dunn go through his reads and progressions, and great tight spiral in between two defenders, picking up enough for a first down.
14-yard reception by Jackson. After this play, we'll get up the UMS Wright defense. Dunn has time, hits it across the middle. Pass is complete and still on the run. That's going to be a touchdown for the Vigor Wolves. DeAndre Adams from his tight end position. Couldn't even get the UMS Wright defense on, Cory. Vigor's on the board right now.
DeAndre Chambers, a little play action. The tight end, 6'1", 185 senior. He goes up, makes a great catch, and makes 3 Bulldog defenders miss. And you started this drive behind the sticks positively for the defense of UMS. And just like that, the explosiveness, huge 4-play scoring drive for the Wolfpack. Chambers caps it off with 6 points for the Wolfpack.
Fremont on for the extra point. Looks like Chambers going to run out on the field last minute here. He's got time, play clock just at 18 seconds, so they can get the formation set. Low snap. Dylan Jackson has to eat it, trying to make something out of this. So the try is no good for the Wolves. Coaching staff not happy about that one. Vigor strikes early. 6-0 is our score here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medication. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Parents, don't forget to mark your calendar. September 16th, Professional Development Day. No classes for students. So that means no classes this Monday for the kids. It's PD day for the teachers. Make sure you mark your calendar. No classes this Monday. Cory, I got to go to work.
Yeah, that'll make two of us, but
plenty PD for me.
I tell you this, Sammy Dunn, he went to work on that play action pass to Chambers, and now we'll see how the Bulldogs will respond.
Denton Elliott runs into one of his own teammates as it gets up to about the 29. Great field position there for UMS Wright. Look at this Vigor defense. The Wolves play a 3-4 with junior defensive end Devin Whitsitt. Correction, our scoring drive, 73-yard touchdown to DeAndre Chambers from Sammy Dunn. 4 plays, 85 yards. I think that might be 1 minute and 1 second, not 7 minutes and 1 second.
It is
3 minutes and 1 second. China Power corrects me. It's just that slight finger touch on the keyboard. That's all it is. First to 10 for UMS Wright coming up.
See how they respond here, Al, after that big strike.
Fowler dumps it out. Pass complete to Bertocci. Let's take a look at the Vigor Wolves defense. They play a 3-4 with junior defensive end Devin Whitson up front and has 8 tackles for loss for a D-line averaging 238 pounds. Helping him out is 6'4 defensive tackle Omari Lofton. He has 1 fumble recovery. The Wolves' leading tackler is Mike linebacker Kentonio Kelly, one of our impact players. He is doing it tonight. Leading the Wolves with 16 tackles is Jabarius Chicken Gara. Look for him to call his name tonight. Nice slant right there across the middle to Bertocci. That's going to be a first down. UMS Wright back in Vigor field territory.
Bertocci does a great job of holding on to the football. The 5'10", 160-pound junior with a great throw by Fowler. And if you're going to give him that cushion at the line of scrimmage, he just ran an outstanding route. The timing was impeccable there, and we'll have our first heat timeout, I do believe. Maybe if it's going to be a heat timeout, probably now's the time to go ahead and take it.
I think it is at 6:16. Our referee, Paul Brooks, calls for it. We'll take a break and be back with more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
It's National Arts and Education Week, so I have a very special guest with me here tonight, the band director for Vigor High School, Mr. Taylor. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. About yourself?
We're doing good. We weren't supposed to have any rain tonight, but we're getting a little bit of drizzle, but that's not going to stop us from having a good time.
Oh, definitely not.
Well, I wanted to talk to you, since it's National Arts and Education Week, about the importance of arts in our schools. What kind of impact have you seen on students who are involved in arts programs?
Well, the arts are really what help keep the students involved, because there are a lot of students that wouldn't be doing anything if they weren't involved in the arts, especially band, chorus. A lot of those activities keep them off the streets and keep them definitely involved in a lot of stuff at school.
And specifically, how does the band at Vigor High School contribute to the school spirit and just the community involvement that you're able to see there?
Well, when you think of Vigor, you definitely think about the band, because they see us all the time at parades. They see us at the football games. We contribute a lot of school spirit, and so the band definitely shows up and shows out. And so a lot of the children, when they come to Vigor not knowing how to play instruments, and then they say, hey, I want to be a part of the band. And so we invite them along and we teach them how to play instruments. And before long, they get to learn how to play, and they learn to get scholarships to go to college, and it's just awesome.
Absolutely. And two, we get to see they're kind of like the unsung cheerleaders for the football team.
Definitely.
And my last question for you, during National Arts and Education Week, what message would you like to send to students and parents and educators about the importance of supporting the arts programs in schools?
For parents, it's definitely great to support the arts. The arts are definitely their outlook, because some don't get the academic side, but the arts can actually help them get their way to get into a college program, and it's an outlet for letting the children be able to express themselves, and it's just fun being able to be a part of the arts. We have a great time in band, and I'm telling you, it's definitely a good time.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Taylor, for taking time with us, and we hope that y'all have fun tonight.
We plan on it. Right now we're up 6-0, and we plan on taking this thing on home.
All right, thank you so much. I'll let you get with your band.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He is right about that. Vigor trying to take it on home. This replay, Kentonio Kelly picks off Max Fowler and brings it back across the 50. Vigor with their second possession, trying to add on to the lead.
And that is Kentonio's first interception, and you see Dunn going deep early. And the referee says it is incomplete. But Kentonio Kelly, he dropped back in coverage, was able to read the quarterback Fowler's eyes. And I mentioned how he was the 3A lineman of the year 1 year ago at Mobile Christian. But that is his first interception, the 5'11", 211-pound senior, fitting very well in this Wolfpack defense by defensive coordinator Michael Perry is calling the plays for the Wolfpack defensively.
2nd and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Wolves with a little bunch set here to the right of Dunn. Benjamin goes out in motion. Pass is complete. Forward progress. They're going to say he got up to about the 47. Pass completed to Garrett Holcomb. 3rd down, and we'll call it about 7 yards to go, Cory.
Money down. Luke Phillips, the will linebacker, 5'10", 178-pound senior on the stop for UMS Wright. Have to give a shout out to his dad, Will Phillips, part of Green and Phillips, and Luke Phillips' grandfather. He played at the University of Alabama, so we'll see if genetically Luke Phillips can have a little bit of oomph to his defense for the Bulldogs.
DeAndre Chambers, tight end, just to the left of Dunn. Draw play up the middle to Carlos Benjamin. I told you he's instant offense, and look at that instant offense pushing it down to the field, down to the 30-yard line. 1st down, Vigor on the move.
They call him Carlos Green Pants Benjamin, the 5'9", 180-pound senior. Has over 250 yards rushing on the season. And you can look for that big offensive line and Coach McKenzie to continue to go to that with that type of push.
Going back to Benjamin again. Runs between the center and the guard. One of the UMS Wright Bulldogs lost his helmet, number 67 there, Cory.
And Bennett Rowe, he comes up from his defensive lineman position, 6', 176-pound junior on the stop, but not before Green Pants is able to gain 5 yards. 2nd and 5, right where Coach John McKenzie, who calls the plays for the Wolfpack, wants to be. He can open it up here with play action or continue to run the football on this drive.
Play clock under 10 seconds. Slight mist coming down. I guess I spoke too soon about the precipitation. Pass complete. Still struggling and fighting, Jamarion Osborne. Let's see, that is enough for a 1st down, and the chains move.
And Osborne, the 6', 185-pound senior, we called his name against the Matty T. Blunt Leopards with a huge catch, but he comes in, makes his 2nd catch of the season. He comes in from Chickasaw High School, a great addition offensively for the Wolfpack.
We'll play some defense tonight as well. Vigor inside of the red zone, ball at the 18-yard line. They fake the handoff, going to the fade route in the corner to Garrett Holcomb. Incomplete, takes Vigor to 2nd down. They took the shot right there, Cory.
Yeah, looking for against James Scott, the 5'9", 169-pound senior corner for the Bulldogs. And it was a great play call there, trying to find that mismatch, but you kind of want to keep it in bounds there if you're done and allow your receiver an opportunity to make a play and high point the football. But great shot on 1st down to take, 2nd and 10.
Empty set for the Wolves. 5 out. Benjamin comes back just to the right of Sammy Dunn. They give it to Benjamin. Nothing there. No gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and long coming up here for the Wolves.
Kaplan Reed, the 5'11", 211-pound junior Mike linebacker, he just stays in the gap, and a little bit of too much dancing there in the hole. And Mr. Reed, he said, not today, no more yardage gained. Matter of fact, it was a loss, and now we're looking at 3rd and 10 for the Wolfpack in the red zone area.
We'll start off with that same formation. 5 receivers, empty set. Dunn has time, going back to that fade route in the corner once again. Pass is caught. That is a touchdown to Jamaria. No, correction. That is to Jamez Montgomery. No, I'm sorry, Cory. Kiviaz Malone, number 14, hauls it in. 18-yard reception.
And what I love about that throw and catch, Sammy Dunn did exactly what I just talked about in the pass before. He kept it in bounds in a position to where only the defender would have a chance to try to swat it away. The receiver, Malone, 5'7", 124-pound senior goes and makes a great catch, great chemistry, and another 6 points on the board for the Wolfpack.
And the PAT is good. Our score 13-0 over UMS Wright. Take a look at this replay. Hitting Malone in the left corner. He hauls it in. Great concentration, and he does the toe tap.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Wheaton, Cory Bounty, Kimberly Dunn on the sideline. There's the scoring drive, 21-yard touchdown reception to KJ Malone. 7 plays, 50 yards, 3 minutes and 21 seconds. And Sammy Dunn is on fire, Cory. Our statistician, Matt Moore, told me he is 5 for 7, 119 yards. And yes, he has 2 scores already.
And I think that when you have the type of timing and the touch that Sammy Dunn has, he realized that that first throw was out of bounds. This second one was on the money, and the Wolfpack are trying to be on the attack once again.
Bo Wills with the kickoff return. North-south, straight up the middle. Wills past the midfield stripe to the 45, down to the 41-yard line. Nice kickoff return by Bo Wills.
No quit in this Bulldog team. We mentioned Bo Wills, the third, being so very versatile for the UMS Wright Bulldogs, returning kickoffs, also in the backfield and special teams, and was able to create a nice little wedge. And 3 drives by the Bulldogs have all gone into Wolfpack territory.
They sure have.
So they have crossed the 50, and really this is close to the deepest that they've been here in the first quarter of action here in Pritchard, Alabama.
Ball at the 41. They hand it off to Wills. He's kind of upended, tackle for a loss. About a 1-yard loss right there. Bring up 2nd and 11 for the Bulldogs.
Kentonio Kelly, number 11, one of our huge impact players, just shoots the gap and does an outstanding job of making a 1-yard tackle for loss. It brings up 2nd and 11 for the Bulldogs. And Coach Curtis earlier was able to get it out to the perimeter, and we'll see these DBs come up a little closer on these wide receivers so those passes aren't available.
Fowler hauls back to pass, got a guy, incomplete. Going to take UMS Wright to 3rd down. Cory, you were just talking about Kelly. He got the interception that led to the point, so Vigor hits points off turnovers on their second possession of the ball game tonight.
Kevin Malone in coverage. He is a Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajun verbal commit. And here it is at 3rd and 11. Not where the UMS Wright Bulldogs feel comfortable, but Vigor has to make sure they stay disciplined and stay away from any penalties. Knock on wood, we haven't seen that many here in the first quarter of play.
Pressure on Fowler. They set up the little tunnel screen. Thomas Pertacci gets close to the 35, but that is not the line to gain. They need to get to the 31 to get a 1st down, and I believe that will possibly be our last play of the first quarter. We'll see.
Brandon Coates, the free safety, 5'9", 160-pound senior, makes his 8th tackle of the season.
And Terry Curtis is going to let the game clock run out, so that'll take it to the end of the first quarter. We're going to keep it right here. Take a look at these 2 coaches with our coaches comparison. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. Terry Curtis, the Alabama State winningest head coach in the state of Alabama, 36 years as head coach, 26 years at UMS. And Cory, he's went to the playoffs every year at UMS Wright, has a 357-99 overall record. That adds up to a 783 winning percentage. Oh my goodness. John McKenzie, 5th year as a head coach, his 3rd year at Vigor, 22-6 at Vigor and 27-20 overall. That's a .574 winning percentage. But for him, the tip of the hat is won a state championship in 2021 at Vigor.
And you look at it being his third year. Well, how is it his third year at Vigor, you ask? Well, his first 2 years were in 20 and 21.
That's right.
And Coach Cook had this program, and now Coach McKenzie is back for his second stint, which equates his third total year as head coach of the Vigor Wolves.
Take a look at first quarter stats here up on your screen. All dominated by Vigor. No penalties in that first quarter. 117 yards through the air for the Wolves. 19 on the ground, just 19 yards, Cory, for Vigor, but they have definitely done it in the air.
Clean game in the first quarter. That's what's huge. That one turnover led to the 6 points, but this is a huge play here for the Bulldogs because, again, I mentioned how Terry Curtis has the ability here to come up with some great trick plays. And here on 4th and 4, with the outstanding field position being on the Vigor Wolves 35-yard line, no need to punt it because that would only make the Wolfpack go 99 yards. So here it's just going to be about execution for the Bulldogs.
Definitely sitting in no man's land. Pass complete. Low slant right across the middle. Great catch right there by Perry Hand. He ran the slant route, and Fowler hit him in stride.
Outstanding play call. If we're able to take a look at that on 4th and 4, Perry Hand makes his 4th reception, goes right down the seam, and he is wide open down the stripes, and now you're looking in the red zone area. 1st and goal for the UMS Wright Bulldogs from the Wolfpack 5-yard line, and he just was unaccounted for. A free release for him, and Max Fowler was able to hit him on the numbers.
That was a 40-yard pickup right there by Hand. Going to the Wildcat, direct snap to Bo Wills. They're just going to try to muscle it in. It'll be 2nd and goal as the Vigor Wolves up in Wills. Possibly, let's see. They may have given him credit for about 2 there, so we'll call it 2nd and goal from the 4, Cory.
Chicken Guerra and Amari Lofton on the stop for the Wolfpack. We'll see here. We've talked about the disparity of offensive line versus defensive line. We'll see if Coach Curtis decides to try to run it in or hit the perimeter out wide.
Let's correct that. Ball's at the 3. They fake the jet sweep. Wills goes up the middle. He's near the goal line, maybe just short, probably at the 1-foot line. That's what I'll say here from the press box.
And Bo Wills III, he runs downhill, folks. The 6'2", 206-pound senior.
Coming right at you.
You see he's going to run downhill and able to be stopped right at the 1-yard line. So now we're at 3rd and goal for the Bulldogs from the 1-yard line, and it's just going to be a battle of the trenches here at the 1-yard line for UMS to try to get on the board.
Fowler back in the ball game. Going with a wishbone look here. Hand off to Perry Hand. Timing was off, and Vigor was all on top of it. I'm surprised Coach Curtis didn't go back to Wills once again, but they brought in Fowler, so it's going to be 4th and goal here for the Bulldogs.
Kentonio Kelly, our impact player, continues to make a huge impact here in the first half, and that's going to be a loss of 2 yards for the Bulldogs. Now, we saw them convert a few moments ago on 4th and 4 and get close to a 40-yard gain, but look at Kentonio Kelly shoot the gap, a huge stop. And we'll see here with the Wolfpack fans on 913 North Wilson Avenue making plenty of noise.
Wildcat formation again. Snap goes out of the hand of Bo Wills. It's kicked by Vigor. That is a live ball. Vigor's going to get opportune field position here off of that botched snap. Johnny on the spot for the Wolves right there. Devin Whitsitt, defensive end. Look at him concentrate, Cory. Didn't get it there.
He accidentally kicked the pigskin trying to scoop and score.
Got it right there.
Off of the big explosive play, it's negated as the Wolfpack bow up and show a lot of bark and bite at the goal line, turning the Bulldogs away and keeping that shutout alive here on the scoreboard. And now we'll see if offensively Sammy Dunn can go to the air and get a quick strike with a long touchdown pass.
1st and 10 for the Wolves at their own 32. Quick out to Jamarian Osborne. He drops it. That'll take Vigor to 2nd down. Quite surprised at that high snap to Bo Wills. We haven't seen any issues tonight, but Corey, that is a formation they went to when they got the 1st and goal. So maybe that's something the Bulldogs we have to discuss on the sideline.
Well, I mean, you converted on 4th and 4 with a huge explosive play, and then right at 4th and goal, you weren't able to convert. Now, Vigor and Coach McKenzie, let's see if they go to Jared Holcomb. You had DeAndre Chambers from his tight end position, and coming out wide, you have the advantage here if you're not able to get any press coverage at the line of scrimmage, and the Wolfpack are going to talk about it.
Timeout called by John McKenzie at 9:11 here in the 2nd quarter. Make sure you stick with us at halftime. We'll feature the bands. Also, we'll have our Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. But right now, we'll take a break and come back with more action for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
2nd down and 10 for the Wolfpack from their own 32-yard line. Here in the 2nd quarter, 9:11 remaining in the 1st half. Trip receivers to the near side of the field here. Good shot right there. Sammy Dunn, one of our impact players tonight for the Vigor Wolves in their home Kelly Green, Cory Bounty.
And we'll see if they run a go route or try to get the ball out quickly to the perimeter.
Hand off to the back, Johnson. Demetrius Johnson has 2 scores on the season, picked up 1 yard there. 3rd and long coming up for the Wolfpack.
Jeff Holston, our impact player for the Bulldogs, the Sam linebacker, 6'2", 195-pound senior, makes his 37th tackle of the season. His 11th solo, does a tremendous job of making sure that no yards after contact were going to be added in. With the ball being spotted right here at the 37-yard line, UMS does not want to give up an explosive play here and allow Vigor's offense to stay on the field.
Dunn rolling out, pressure on him, got a man incomplete. Zacharias Wilson had it in his scopes, but he couldn't hold on to it, so that takes Vigor to 4th down. And Corey, if I'm correct, we had a conversation with John McKenzie on Sunday. If I remember correctly, this will be the Vigor Wolves' 3rd punt of the season.
We know they did not punt against the Matty T. Blunt Leopards.
Right.
And now you're in a situation here to where you hope to be able to flip the field, and special teams, you have to have a great snap. You have to make sure that you're able to try to punt this football away cleanly and not shank it. And it looks like Isaac McNeil, will be punting this football away, but not before Vigor probably calls. No, they weren't able to get the timeout. The delay of game penalty comes out first.
Our first penalty of the ball game, so that'll push the Wolves back 5 yards.
Well, you just want to make sure you have a good snap. And I know the normal punter, Kevin Malone, he is not punting this football away. You're going to have,
this is
again, McNeil. So you want to see how he does.
Thomas Pertacci feels it, bobbles it. Punt is muffed, and Vigor's on top of it. And Cory, look who comes away with it, Kentonio Kelly Jr.
Folks, this man is an absolute baller. He's doing it on defense. He's doing it on special teams. You can see why he was the 3A lineman of the year. And it wasn't a pretty kick, but because of the bobble, something we did not see in warm-ups for the Bulldogs, that's really the first drop that I've seen, because we stood out on the field in pregame and saw no drops. But what a great opportunity for Vigor now to open up their offense past midfield at the UMS Wright Bulldogs 45-yard line.
Wolfpack offense back on the field. Garrett Holcomb goes into motion. They fake it to Holcomb. Dunn has time, airs it out, waiting on it for it to drop. Jamarian Osborne kind of ran up underneath it, couldn't haul it in. That'll take Vigor to second down. Coach John McKenzie, he will air it out, Cory.
He sees the mismatch from a corner and wide receiver standpoint. And Osborne, no press coverage. He got a free release. Dunn had plenty of time. Pump fake, knew where he wanted to go with the football, put the ball on the money. 2 or 3 yard step there on the defender, but a great comeback at the last moment by James Scott to rake the football and take the concentration away from Osborne.
Play clock under 5 seconds. Holcomb goes into motion once again. They get it off. Hand off to Carlos Benjamin. He plows ahead for maybe 1 or 2. 3rd and long once again for the Wolfpack.
Great stop again by Johnny Megason and Luke Phillips, filling up from their dog linebacker and wheel linebacker position. And we've seen 3rd down dialed up a couple of times for the Wolfpack. Have not really heard Garrett Holcomb's name called a lot yet tonight, but haven't seen Sammy Dunn scramble outside of the pocket either.
Benjamin with the carry, scoots forward, picks up a few more, not enough to get the first down, so it's going to be 4th and short here coming up for Vigor.
And coming up to make the stop, David Lott, the free safety for the Bulldogs, 5'9", 138-pound junior. With the stop, makes his 8th tackle of the season. At 4th and 2, we saw the Wolfpack punt the ball away, but to me, you're in great field position. You trust this big offensive line that you have. You have a great back in Carlos Benjamin, and as long as everybody has a body on a body, Vigor should be able to get this in the trenches, even though Dunn's in the shotgun.
Dunn back to pass. They're setting up a little screen to Garrett Holcomb. He shoots right through the tunnel, gets the first down as he crosses the 35 up to about the 33-yard line. So that is a first down for the Wolves. They move the chain.
And that's what I've been waiting to see Mr. Holcomb catch the football. He makes his 10th reception of the season. He has 4 receiving touchdowns, but has blazing speed in the open field. Good job of UMS convoying to the football. And I do believe we're going to have another heat timeout here, our first and only of the second quarter of play.
Paul Brooks calls for it, so we'll call for a break as well here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Got to thank Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friend Neil Patel at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. Also, we want to thank BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to cross country and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com.
1st and 10, Al, after that Holcomb reception, and Sammy Dunn out of this shotgun. You've only seen pressure really applied on that first possession to where he was sacked for a loss.
Correct.
Other than that, he's kind of been able to feel his way around the pocket, and this offensive line that weighs almost 300 pounds across the board has been able to protect him.
Hand off to Demetrius Johnson, runs into DeAndre Chambers, just bounces off like a little pinball in the machine, gets it up to about the 19 inside the red zone are the Wolves once again.
Demetrius Johnson, the 5'6", 165-pound sophomore, shows how shifty he is. He gets in the hole, takes the hit, bounces out, and you see him cut back there with the spin move as well, yards after contact, and the Wolfpack are able to pick up another first down as they are inching right in to the red zone area, and this is the 5th play of this Wolfpack drive.
Under 6 minutes here remaining in the first half. As you saw the graphic, don't forget the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge will be coming up at halftime. They toss it out back to Johnson, goes out, cuts it back toward the middle, gets past the 15 up to the 14. About a 5-yard run for Johnson.
Andrew Cook, the 6', 228-pound junior nose tackle with the stop on the play, but you're getting to see Johnson and Benjamin play running back by committee for the Wolfpack as they are now in that red zone area, and Sammy Dunn, he already has one throwing touchdown. We'll see if he's able to strike up the band once again.
2nd and about 4. Dunn passing, going to the corner, overthrows Jamarion Osborne. It'll take Vigor to 3rd down on this possession right here.
Yeah, Sammy not happy with himself on that throw. He comes to the sideline and said, Coach, that one's on me. I have to put it in a place to where my wide receiver can make a play because he has a couple of inches on that corner. And I wouldn't be surprised here with it being 3rd and close to 5 yards to go if that same coverage is shown for the Wolfpack to be able to go right back to it.
Dunn rolls out to his right, tosses it into the end zone. It looks like Osborne has brought it in. That is a touchdown for Jamarion Osborne. 3rd score of the night thrown by Sammy Dunn.
And they go right back at it, but it's a different look. This time he keeps it in play. It's almost not necessarily a back shoulder throw, but they saw the mismatch that they wanted with Osborne being 6 foot and James Scott maybe being 5'8". And Dunn, he keeps the football in play and throws it in the only place that Jamarion Osborne can catch it. It is 6 more for the Wolfpack, and they are able to capitalize once again. And if they're able to make this, increase the score.
Malik Fremont on for the PAT. It is up, and it is good. Our score 20-0. Vigor all in control over UMS Wright.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
Join Homeroom with Renee Phillips and find out the latest homework tips and what's happening inside the schools and classrooms. It's Homeroom with Renee Phillips right here on the MCPSS TV network. Vigor in control, 20-0 is our score. UMS Wright and Vigor have met 14 times, and the series is tied 7-7. So whoever gets the win tonight will take the lead in this series.
Great job, though, on that last touchdown of rolling out the pocket. And UMS Wright has to respond right here with something positive offensively.
Denton Elliott picks it up off of the turf, gets up to about the 22-yard line with that return. UMS Wright trying to get the offense in gear. We know their offense coordinator, play caller is Terry Curtis. And Corey, I'm with you. Since that first series Vigor had where they sacked Sammy Dunn, it hasn't been the same since then, defense and offense. While UMS drove it inside Vigor territory, had a 4th and goal to the 1, got pushed back to the 3, and could not complete.
8-play, 45-yard drive there, and it wound up being a 14-yard touchdown pass. Sammy Dunn, he was able to throw that, though, rolling the pocket. The throw that I said to Osborne, it was out of bounds, it was just a straight drop back. The difference in between that throw and the touchdown throw was the rolling of the pocket and Sammy Dunn getting much more comfortable in that pocket. And now UMS Wright will try to take over here and try to control this last 4:47 of the second quarter.
Bo Wills goes into motion. Hand off to Perry Hand. Boy, he had a hole right there opened up by the guard in the center. Goes across the 30-yard line. Let's see if he's close to the first down marker, and I believe he is. The chain gang is on the move.
Michael Tucker, the defensive back, 5'8", 180 pounds, with the stop for the Vigor Wolves. But I like the way that Perry Hand ran tremendously hard. And with this last 4:33, UMS really wants to control this clock and not give this Vigor offense an opportunity to put 6 more on the board.
Definitely want to get some points if you can. Hand off to senior running fullback Bo Wills. He plows forward to the 35, maybe 37-yard line. Nice run right there by Wills.
And once again, a stop by Amari Lofton, the defensive tackle, 6'4", 240-pound senior. UMS Wright in no hurry. I mentioned as part of my checklist, they definitely want to control the clock. And trailing 20-0, you want to use as much time and break that huddle as late as possible before you snap the football in order to give your defense a rest.
Make the clock your ally. Elliott goes into motion. They give it to him on a little sweep. Turns the edge, upended right at the 40-yard line. It's going to be about 2 yards short. It'll be 3rd and short coming up here for the Bulldogs.
Kamari White, once again, coming up from his rover position, 5'10", 185-pound senior with the stop. And here it is at 3rd and 2. Coach Curtis going downhill to Bo Wills, the 3rd, or Perry Hand. Both of these guys run downhill with their running style. We'll see if Vigor's defensive line can hold the line.
They go back to Perry Hand. He cuts to the right and is driven down right at the 40. Basically no gain on the play. It's going to be 4th and 2 coming up here for UMS Wright.
Jabarius Chicken Guerra initially made the contact from his jack linebacker position before Kentonio Kelly was able to finish him off. And that's a long 4th and 2. And if you're Terry Curtis, from your own 40-yard line, you definitely want to punt this football away. I know he does have special team tricks up his sleeve, but trailing 20-0, I'd be shocked if he pulled one here.
Something you had on your checklist. Nice punt right there by Elliott. Kevin Malone's going to field it at his own 28. Has no blockers, and UMS eats him up, and that's going to be a late hit. You could hear the Vigor crowd complaining about that late hit that came in. Something very uncharacteristic for the Bulldogs.
You have to take care of Kevin Malone in that situation, and that was definitely a late hit as Malone just is trying to dance around before he is stuck by number 22, Perry Hand, with that late hit, but it'll be 15 yards. You don't call those a free 15 because when Malone takes that type of shot, it definitely is an earned 15 yards for the Wolfpack.
Just heard the PA guy announce LaFleur on top of Faith Academy, 22-0. That got a rile up from the crowd there. We know LaFleur trying to pick up their first win of the season, Cory.
Yeah, Coach Renardo Jackson just comes to work every single day, and him being a former defensive coordinator for John McKenzie, winning that state championship. Now we'll see here if Vigor continues to chase their championship on the field offensively and on the scoreboard.
1st and 10 from the 44. Dunn has time, just flips it in the air. Pass caught by Malone. His forward progress is going to take him up to the 48, so we'll call that about a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 here for the Wolfpack.
And it's going to be huge for UMS Wright's defense, who had only been giving up 5.3 points per game, to have a huge stop right here.
Vigor almost halfway to their scoring average of 44.3 a game, up 20-0 right here as we approach 90 seconds left in the contest. Carlos Benjamin back in the ball game. He had a break on that last series from Vigor. Picks up 1 right there. 3rd and 5 coming up from the Vigor 49-yard line, and the Wolves just taking their time here as we approach 90 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, Kaplan Reed from his Mike linebacker position makes that solo tackle. That's his 2nd on the night. 34 total tackles on the season for him, and we'll see what Sammy Dunn's able to dial up from Coach John McKenzie.
Dunn has all the time in the world.
That's a wonderful
Pass
catch.
is caught. It is complete. Dylan Jackson, the 2nd leading receiver on the team, had to wait for it to come down, but the patience, and he climbed the ladder to get it, Corey. Watch him go up.
Perfect camera shot once again through 2 UMS Wright defenders. That's the 2nd time tonight we've seen that. And with under a minute left to play here in the 2nd quarter, Vigor trying to add to that 20 points that are already on the board.
Ball at the 23-yard line of UMS Wright. Dunn going back to that fade route once again. Ball drops right through the open arms of Jamarian Osborne, and a big gash comes up from the Vigor fans. They can't believe he dropped it.
47.8 seconds remaining, and Coach McKenzie and Sammy Dunn take their kill shot on 1st down.
Sure
you
do.
couldn't have asked for a better thrown ball. Just a 1-step drop, timing, and right through the outstretched fingertips of Osborne. Not able to come away with it, but that mismatch there, you have to give at least 5 to 7 yards of cushion so you have a chance to fight for that jump ball.
Quick draw play up the middle goes Carlos Benjamin. Look at him fighting, Corey, as he gets close to the 10. Think they're going to spot him at the 10-yard line. Well, Coach McKenzie, yeah, he's calling for the timeout. He's out on the field, needs to stop the clock. Look at this replay right here and the run by Benjamin.
What you do is you pass, and then you call a nice draw to Carlos Benjamin. Johnny Megason from the dog linebacker position for the Bulldogs makes the stop. And I like the way that you have seen nothing but pass, and then underneath you go to Benjamin, and you're allowing him to weave his way to a 1st down in the red zone area, Al. And I know that the ball now at the 10-yard line, it will be 1st and goal to go for the Wolfpack from the 10-yard line of the Bulldogs, and Vigor trying to go ahead and take a big bite out of the Bulldogs before we get here to halftime.
Coming up at halftime, don't forget the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge also will feature the bands, and there's a shot right there of the winningest coach in the state of Alabama, Terry Curtis, taking a little sip right there. I'm sure he'll be talking to his Bulldogs in the locker room, down 20-0 right now in this 5A Region 1 battle.
Well, it's just been the battle of turnovers here for the Bulldogs. They have turned the ball over in the first half a little bit too much and have given Vigor all kind of momentum. Now, Sammy Dunn, he wants to take care of this football and put 6 more on the board.
Dunn back to throw, going to the corner, almost a little rub right there, intended for Malone. You can see Osborne cut underneath, no flags thrown. 2nd and goal for Vigor.
Well, any throw that Sammy Dunn makes, whether it is a fade, you want to make sure that you give your wide receiver a chance to toe tap or just go up and high point the football here inside the 10-yard line. It's something, it's a drill that comes with chemistry and timing, and as I mentioned, Sammy Dunn coming into Vigor in his first year, he threw for over 1,837 yards a year ago at Bayside, and now he's trying to add his 4th touchdown of this first half.
Quad receivers to the top. Dunn looking to the right, trying to get it to Dylan Jackson. Pass incomplete. Correction, that was Garrett Holcomb he was intended target for. 3rd and goal coming up here for the Wolfpack.
And what you want to see here is probably another shot to the end zone, because the success that they had rolling the pocket out on the last touchdown to Osborne, let's see if they decide to roll the pocket out here to the short side of the field or run green pants into the end zone on a draw.
Dunn has time, trying to get it to the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Dylan Jackson said, I had it, but the official says no. 4th down to go. Here's a shot at the replay. Let's take a look.
Just right on the white, and he couldn't get that foot down in bounds. A great camera shot by our crew, just was unable to be able to get in the green, which signifies a touchdown. And here on 4th down, special teams, Vigor has an opportunity to bring on Malik Fremont to kick a field goal here for the Wolfpack before the half. Don't want it to get blocked, though. UMS Wright going to bring the house.
Fremont attempting a 27-yard field goal. Low snap, gets the kick up, and Cory, he nails it right down the pipe for Malik Fremont.
Huge play for Vigor special teams, getting on the board there. Yes, they would have loved to have had that touchdown, but to be able to get on the board with the field goal, 23-0, our new score. What a great drive by Vigor to get on the board before the half. And you look at the snap, the hold, the kick, enough distance to be going through the upright. Great shot by our camera crew. And the fight song being fired up here before the half. Now, the worst thing that could happen here for UMS is for a fumble to occur here on this kickoff. And to start the game, Al, who receives the football coming out in the second half?
Coming into the second half, it will be Vigor receiving the ball because they won the toss and declined. So Vigor's going to get the ball in the second half. So John McKenzie trying to get the famous 2-for-1, and he got the first side. See if he'll get the second side in the 3rd quarter. We'll find out. Fremont punches that one directly, goes out of bounds. So that'll be a flag on the play. Vigor is halfway to their average, Cory. 23 points they have put up on UMS here in the first half. Unbelievable performance by the Wolves. But think about that last scoring drive. Set up, Cory. They got 15 free yards, and you say they earned it the hard way with that late hit by Perry Hand on the kickoff return.
And once you have those type of penalties and turnovers, that's something that Coach Curtis definitely is going to address at halftime. Now, by addressing them, can you do anything to take away the 23 points that Vigor has already scored? No, you cannot. But you can also come out in the second half and play a much cleaner game. And Vigor now kicking off from their own 35-yard line after the penalty, doesn't want to give up a big return here and want to take this 23-0 lead into the half. A year ago, you mentioned in your opening, Vigor won 31-9.
Sure did.
And UMS was able to score those 9 points, but so far here, 23-0, Vigor has all the momentum.
Fremont keeps this one in bounds. Denton Elliott with the return coming straight up the middle. Nice return by Elliott. Gets it up to about the 48, maybe 49-yard line. 11.7 seconds remaining here on the game clock.
It was a great return, aided by the penalty, and it's something that we have not seen a lot of in the first half, are those penalty flags coming out, because here it is, we kicked off right around 7:02, and this first half has only taken a little over an hour to play, and I wouldn't be surprised here with 13 seconds left whether Vigor decides to bring pressure to UMS Wright's quarterback and try to turn him over one more time before we reach halftime.
Gonna find out here. Fowler takes the snap, looks to his left, airs it out, looking for Denton Elliott. Elliott hauls it in, pass is complete. The clock will stop momentarily as they move the chains. Elliott on that out route, and Fowler hit him in stride.
Great job as Terry Curtis dials up a play to get his team in scoring position here before the half, as we have 7.5 before the clock is ready to wind, and it is in play, and we'll see here what UMS is able to do with it on this last play of the half.
Clock started to run, ready to play, and that's going to be an interception on the last play of the first half. Ashlyn Jones with the INT to put a cap on the second quarter, but there is a flag on the field, Cory.
Yeah, it's during the return, definitely a block in the back or some type of crackback, and we'll see here how the officials decide to mark it off. It's definitely an interception, but I know that also Vigor was able to get everybody back in regards to not letting UMS get a chance to get into the end zone before halftime. And the play right before this one where the penalty was called, Coach Curtis did a great job getting his team in scoring position.
And Paul Brooks is going to call it a half right there with Vigor in complete control, 23-0 over UMS Wright. Cory, quite a performance being put together here by the Wolfpack.
Yeah, what you have here is the defense with that huge goal line stand and turning UMS Wright away and being able to have points off turnovers.
Right.
So that's something. Sammy Dunn has continued to throw the ball great to these wide receivers, and we'll keep an eye on the offense versus defensive line on both of these teams. What's getting done in the trenches in the second half is something to keep an eye on.
Vigor comes into the ball game only giving up about 13 points a game and pitching a shutout right now, halfway to their scoring average. As I said, they average 44.3 points a game, and they're sitting at 23 right now. Coach McKenzie has this offense clicking tonight.
Yeah, I mean, again, Sammy Dunn comes in and he's putting the ball on the numbers where he needs to, and the receivers are doing an outstanding job of making sure that they're high pointing the football. Dunn, 9 out of 18, 167 yards and 3 touchdowns, not too shabby.
Let's take it down to the field with Kimberly Dunn. She has head coach John McKenzie.
Hi, Coach McKenzie. Before the game, we talked about some things that your team needed to do in order to pull off this win tonight. We see the score is 23-0. Do you feel like they've been able to execute the way that you were hoping that they would?
No, again, we still make a lot of mistakes, but we got a talented group of guys, and when they play hard, they make it right. But you know, we still got a long way to go. I just don't want to. I want it to be better than what it is.
So what adjustments are you going to suggest to your team to come out after this half and even be stronger?
Well, I know they don't like to throw the ball, but I think they probably going to put the ball in the air a little bit more. We got to do better running the football. We left a lot of plays out there because our offensive line can't get to the linebackers. So that's the adjustment that we got to make, get to the linebackers and be prepared for them to throw the ball around.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach McKenzie. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Our halftime score, Vigor on top 23-0. Let's take it down to the field and listen at the marching band from UMS Wright. Great performance by the band from UMS Wright. Did a fine job tonight entertaining the crowd here at halftime. Speaking of entertainment, it's time for the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. We can hear the cow go moo, and we can try to get a winner. So let's check in with Kimberly Dunn for the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge.
Well, Al, we might not just have one winner. We might have 3 special winners tonight. So we're going to see if they are able to answer our Chick-fil-A halftime trivia question. Let me ask what your names are and where you go to school.
Brian Rose, I go to Wyckoff Elementary School. I am Cadence Patton. I go to kindergarten.
Wow, kindergarten. And what's your name and where you go to school?
Skylar Wright, I go to Lioncoff.
Lioncoff, awesome. And who are y'all cheering for tonight?
Wolfpack.
The Wolfpack. Well, hopefully you too. Well, hopefully they win tonight. Are y'all ready for our trivia question? Yes. Okay, here we go. There are 8 planets in our solar system. Which planet is known as the red planet?
Ooh,
okay.
dang.
Hold on. No. Listen to your multiple choice, okay? Is it A, Saturn, B, Mercury, C, Mars, or D, Uranus?
C, Mars.
Oh, what do you think? Y'all want to ask each other? Which one do you think it is?
What is it? I think it's Mars.
Oh, that might be good.
I think it's A. Oh, I know what it is.
Okay, all right. Which one do you think it is? I'll let each of you answer if you got something different. All right, what do you think it is?
I think it is an A.
You think it's A? What were you saying earlier?
C.
You were saying C. Let's see what the answer was. Was it Saturn or Mars? The correct answer is
Saturn. It's Saturn.
It's Mars. But you got lucky because he knew the right answer, so you all are winners. Yes, so you get our fabulous Chick-fil-A prize pack filled with goodies from Mobile County Public Schools and Chick-fil-A, and show them your gift cards and 4 Chick-fil-A gift cards. Wave at everybody and say bye.
Good job, Kimberly. Great job. Got to listen to the little fella. Little fella was right. Great job, kids. Let's take it down to the field and listen to the Marching Wolfpack Band of Vigor High School.
All right, now, Wolfpack fans, I want you to stand on your feet. Salute the spirit built for our fight song. Fight, 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 green and white. Fight, fight, fight for the green and white. We don't need nobody. Just us. The mighty, mighty Wolves are on the go. We want you to know we love you, so we're gonna fight, fight. You know what? Come on, sing it. I can't hear you. Fight, fight. Green and 2, 3. Talking about in the play. Who's that winning team? Talking about Vigor. Yeah. Here we go. Everybody, let's say it. Talking about Vigor. Yeah, with a mighty, mighty whoa. Everybody say it. Talking about Vigor. I want everybody in the crowd to shout it out. Shout it proud and loud. Talking about, say, talking about Vigor. Y'all can do better than that. Say it. I hear some of y'all, I hear some choir members up in there. Come on, say it. Talking about, hey. They can join you, Miss King. Talking about Vigor. Now bring that sound. Here we go. Let's say it. Last time for the road. What we say? Talking about Vigor. Come on, make some noise. And now get ready. All right. Now at this time, now all of you that show that real Vigor pride, I want everybody to stand on your feet. Man shall never be broken, it shall never die. Loyal hearts and kindred spirits, sealed by friendship ties. Faithful, loyal, brave, and true, we shall ever be. Hail to thee, our alma mater, Vigor High School. Hail. Let's go, Wolfpack!
Great performance by the Vigor High School marching Wolfpack. Our halftime score 23-0. We'll take a break and come back and bring you first half stats here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Mobile County Public Schools, the place that has it all. We have 90 schools that include rural, urban, and suburban schools of various sizes. We are also home to Alabama's first public school. We welcome you to come join our winning team. Our district is led by the 2020 Superintendent of the Year, Mr. Cressel D. Threadgill. Our teachers are leaders in their profession who are afforded numerous professional development opportunities. Our principals are collaborators and encouragers. Our schools are leading in innovation and instruction. And most importantly, our students, who are learning today, leading tomorrow, are simply the best. If you want to live in a historically rich city near beautiful beaches with superb Southern hospitality, we invite you to come teach with the best. Team MCPSS.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
I'm Keith Blackwood, your Mobile County District Attorney. I want to remind you about the truancy laws. 5 unexcused absences requires you to attend the early warning truancy program. Failure to attend the early warning truancy program can cause you to appear before a judge in circuit court. We need you to stay in school. This is a serious law, and it needs to be taken very seriously. I wish you and your family a safe, happy, and successful school year.
We welcome you inside of the broadcast booth atop Wolfpack Stadium. Halftime, our score 23-0. Cory, Vigor on top and in control. Getting ready to look at first half stats coming up here from the first half.
Yeah, I mean, Vigor, what you're looking to do if you're the Wolfpack is continue to take care of the football. And if you're able to do that, then I think you'll be able to continue to maintain not only this lead, but make it even bigger. And you look at the rushing yards for Vigor, 65, passing yards, 167. The total yards at 232 is something that you have to be impressed with.
Right.
But overall, the 4 turnovers by UMS Wright in the first half,
uncharacteristic.
very uncharacteristic. And 1 penalty for Vigor, 1 for UMS Wright, lead to our 23-0 score. But we'll see if UMS is able to get some offense going like they did to end the second quarter of play.
And we know one of those turnovers led to a Vigor touchdown, an interception by Kentonio Kelly. That was the second score that Vigor put up in the first quarter. All right, there's a look at halftime stats. Let's revisit your checklist right quick, Cory. So you talked about UMS Wright and Vigor.
Yeah, UMS Wright needed to limit the explosive plays. Well, there have been explosive plays that have led to points off of turnovers, and it's kind of been Vigor driving down the field and not having that home run hit or home run ball necessarily, but controlling the clock. UMS Wright was not able to do that, and because of it, Vigor has really earned time of possession and had more time of possession than UMS and B field position pros. And anytime you're on the 1-yard line of your opponent, that is outstanding field possession. You couldn't ask for any better, and Vigor was able to turn UMS right away. And for Vigor, being disciplined, we just saw the penalties. Vigor's done a tremendous job of being and playing disciplined football. And the special teams coverage, kicking extra points, has been huge. We've also seen a field goal that's been made by the Wolfpack. That's something that they've added to this week's arsenal. And 9-1-3 versus everybody. We'll see here if they're able to take that mentality and go ahead and double up UMS right here in the second half of action.
All right, Cory, let's take a look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association state polls. In the 5A poll, Gunnersville is still number 1 in 5A, and there's no other movement with the remaining 8 teams. Vigor sits solid at number 7, just like last week. Outside the top 10, picking up votes are Citronelle and Williamson, who are playing each other tonight at Ladd Stadium. I think you told me Williamson was on top, what, 12 to nothing?
Yes, 12-0.
12 to nothing. Let's stay right here on the 5A poll for 1 second, Cory. This is something I want to mention. So far in 2024, UMS Wright has not been ranked in the top 10 poll. The last time the Bulldogs weren't ranked at least once in a season, Cory LeBounty, was 1995.
Yeah, that's been quite a long time.
That's a long time.
I know these youngins that are out here on the field, they weren't even alive.
They weren't even alive
at that point in time, but it just goes to speak to the consistency and the championship effort that is presented for UMS Wright football.
Let's take it up to the 6A poll. Just like the 5A poll, all teams remain the same in 6A through the first 9 spots. The only change has Gulf Shores dropping out of the top 10. They lost to Saraland last week. And Spanish Fort moves in at number 10. And who they're playing tonight? The number 10 team is playing the number 1 team with Spanish Fort and Saraland. That's going to be a real good ball game taking place over there at Spartan Stadium. And lastly, up to the 7A poll, the top 4 here are still the same from last week's poll. MGM slides up 1 spot to 9. They had a big win over Daphne last week. Outside the top 10 picking up votes are Baker with 4 votes and Foley with 1. And we know Baker lost last night to the number 1 team in 4A, the Jackson Aggies. The Aggies come in and spoil homecoming for the Hornets, Cory.
And Mary G. Montgomery all over Robertsdale tonight. And Baker does now have that 1 loss. And Foley, they're trailing to one of their rivalries in Daphne. So you can see MGM possibly continue to peck up that 7A poll.
A look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association top 10 poll. We'll take a break and come back and bring you the second half. Vigor's all in control, 23-0 over UMS Wright.
Hey Alexa, tell me about Mobile County Public Schools.
With 53,000 students in 90 schools, Mobile County Public Schools equips and empowers college and career-ready graduates. Several MCPSS schools are ranked among Alabama's top 10. Yearly, graduating students earned about $110 million in college scholarships and 10,000 career credentials. MCPSS is learning today, leading tomorrow. Does that answer your question?
I believe my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County Public School System is excellent. For me and my child, I'm going to stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program is here to help those students who want to jumpstart their career right out of high school. With more than 100 specialized courses ranging from engineering, computer networking, nursing, welding, and more, we prepare students for college and career readiness. To learn more, log on to MCPSS.com. Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program, preparing students for life.
Our children with special needs deserve a place to play. That is why we are coming together to build the Miracle League of West Mobile Schmidt Family Park. It will include a special needs ball field and playground, regulation baseball and softball fields, and more. We have raised more than $1 million and construction will start soon. But we need your help to complete the project. Visit mcpss.com/Miracle League to donate and to learn more. Any dollar amount will help bring a smile to a child's face. Together, we can make a miracle.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
We welcome you back to Wolfpack Stadium, almost ready for the second half to begin. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. I believe she had a chance to speak with Terry Curtis.
I was able to speak with Coach Curtis before the game tonight, and he was telling me the 3 things he thought that his team needed to do in order to pull out the win tonight. He said that they had to take care of the football. They can't have any stupid penalties and have a good kicking game. We're going to hopefully see a transformed team that is motivated in the second half and aligns with what Coach Curtis said that they needed to do in order to secure the win tonight.
We're definitely going to find out if they have any motivation, Cory. Down 23 points here at the half. Going to have to do some research to find out when the last time UMS Wright was shut out.
Well, I will say this, Al. Right here, you just have to have your good hands team on deck if you're Vigor. I know you don't want to give up the field position, but, you know, special teams guru Terry Curtis, he has things ready and lined up for the.
And there it is right there, straight up the middle, tried to surprise the Wolves, but they hop on top of it, and they're going to have great field position as UMS Wright tried to steal the possession.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt in my mind, some point in time, Terry Curtis was going to try to steal a possession, whether it was on a fake punt or whether it was on an onside kick. But what you do now is you give this Wolfpack offense an opportunity to have outstanding field position, and Jay Cozio and his defense just has to go ahead and buckle up. See if they have over-the-top coverage here or whether they go man-to-man on these wide receivers for Vigor.
Empty set. Sammy Dunn, he takes off, still behind the line of scrimmage, scoots out of bounds right about the 41-yard line, so he'll get credited with a 2-yard gain there.
Well, you just read the defense there, and I don't see a penalty flag on the field, but I do see a stoppage in play by the officials as they are walking to see if there's an injured player
for
maybe
Vigor.
a cramp coming out of halftime, not stretching.
I think it's Dylan
really
Jackson, wide receiver, possibly some cramps there, but the trainers are right there, help him off the field, Cory.
Johnny on the spot for the trainers, and when you have now a 2nd down and 8 yards to go, it was a 2-yard gain on the play, and Dunn did a great job of surveying, seeing that no wide receivers were open. And because of it, he decided to tuck it and run. And UMS, they just did a great job early in the game of pressuring Dunn on that first possession and finding a way to whoop this offensive line off of the football. See if they're able to get any pressure here on Dunn.
Benjamin comes back into the backfield next to Dunn. They hand it off to Carlos Benjamin. Keeps those legs turning, gets up to the 45-yard line. Going to leave Vigor with 3rd and 4 coming up here to pick up a 1st down to keep this first series in the second half going.
Yeah, Mac McGinley comes up from his defensive end position and makes the stop for the Bulldogs. We've seen a lot of 3rd downs here. This one at 3rd and 4. And Vigor has been able to control the line of scrimmage, and I'm waiting to see if they're able to have some type of explosive run really beyond the line of scrimmage.
Dunn back to pass. They set up the screen for Benjamin, and UMS Wright reads it perfectly. Tackle for loss. They were all over that play.
Outstanding job of staying home by the Bulldogs. Jeff Holston, he is our impact player defensively for UMS Wright. 6'2", 195-pound senior stays home, makes a play. It is going to be a loss for the Wolfpack, and that's exactly what Terry Curtis and defensive coordinator Jay Cozio wanted to happen for the Bulldogs coming out of the locker room, getting that first stop, and now trying to control the clock when they receive the football.
McNeil hits a line drive. Pertacci lets it bounce off his shin, and he is met right near the 34-yard line. So it'll spot UMS Wright their first possession here in the second half.
Good stop there by Aslan Jones on that punt. And once again, UMS Wright has really had great field position, a great replay here. You see him field it, bobble it just a little bit, but Jones with an outstanding tackle there along UMS Wright sidelines, Al. And
looked like we're going to have a redo. It was a false start, a legal procedure against Vigor, so that'll push him back 5 yards. So Pertucci will get a do-over, Cory.
Special teams can be huge here. You were able to get that one and have a good stop. And UMS lines up 10 guys at the line of scrimmage, and the returner being back deep by himself, looking for a low snap or a bad snap by the Wolfpack.
Another low snap McNeil gets it off straight up, straight back down. Portachi's going to stay away from it. Gets a Vigor bounce and a nice roll. Goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That is actually 1 yard shy where the previous return was brought down at the 33.
The Wolfpack fans wanted a roughing the punter, but it was tipped. And because it was tipped, your kicker becomes live in that situation, and it becomes dangerous. But at the same time, because it was tipped.
You can see Paul Brooks say right there it was tipped.
Absolutely great call by the officials, and UMS does take over from their own 32-yard line, and we'll see if they're able to put a couple of first downs together to control this clock to start the second half.
Perry Hand goes into motion. They give it off to Bo Wills. He falls forward for about a 1 yard gain. Takes UMS Wright to second down.
Positive yardage, even though it's just one against this big defensive line. And I did say that UMS wants to control the clock. Right. And this is one way, even though you're trailing 23-0, Vigor's offense scores so much more quickly than UMS Wright's offense. So the best way is to keep them on the sidelines.
They fake it to Wills, little play action. I think someone may have run the wrong route, or could that have been intended?
It was intended, coming for the UMS Wright Bulldogs. And I like the way that you go ahead and you throw it to Joe Bullard. Joe Bullard, the 142-pound wide receiver. You take your eyes and you get caught looking into the backfield. Just a little bit too much air underneath that pass.
First time calling Bullard's name tonight. I don't even have it on the depth chart, Cory. I'm like you, I had to look at the roster. 3rd down and 8 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Trip receivers to the top. Bo Wills is one of them. Fowler's got time. He just lost it up. Does have a man. Pass incomplete. That pass intended for Thomas Portachi. And I believe they're going to catch Vigor with some PI.
Yeah, nice pass interference. You have to turn around and make a play on the football. And Vigor's defense, Cory White, did not do that, and makes it easy for the official to go ahead and call that pass interference call. And we'll see now where UMS Wright will operate after the pass interference call.
So it does go against Vigor. It's going to move the line of scrimmage up to the 49-yard line of UMS. That's a 17-yard pickup on penalty yardage there.
And again, Terry Curtis, head coach, offensive coordinator, calling the plays without a call sheet. Another fumble by UMS.
Snap to Fowler. He salvages it, tries to get it to Elliott. Pass kind of hung up. Great defense right there by Vigor, but he found Elliott leaking out in the flat. Tried to get it to him to salvage something. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Take a look at the replay here. Watch the low snap by Fowler. Good concentration to pick it up.
Does a great job of being able to find the football and keep his eyes down the field. And the Vigor defender, Cory White, was able to get up under the football and knock it away at the last moment. UMS now at 2nd and 10 from their own 49.
Bulldogs back to the run game. Look at Bo Wills cutting. Steps outside, inside of the hash mark. That's enough for a first down. They're going to move the change. Nice run by Bo Wills III.
Aslan Jones with the stop, but Bo Wills III. He keeps the wheels turning and churning, running downhill, and runs with great power behind his pads. And that goes ahead and gives the Bulldogs a first down right at the Wolfpack 40-yard line.
Elliott goes into motion for the Bulldogs. They toss it out to him on the screen. Vigor very excited with that tackle by Aslan Jones.
Aslan Jones with a textbook tackle, one block away from getting positive yards. He was able to diagnose that and correctly come from his cornerback position after the missed block by Camden Taylor. And Jones cleans up and has a nice tackle for loss. 2nd and 11, gets the Wolfpack faithful very excited.
Pushes them back to the 41. They fake the handoff to Wills. Oh, jumping the route. Kevin Malone had pick 6 on his mind, Cory.
The 5'9", 175-pound senior almost came away with his 2nd interception on the season. Was able to bat the ball away, but now at 3rd and long, really the only thing that can hurt UMS or help UMS right here rather is a penalty against the Wolfpack, because this band has come back to life. This crowd has settled in here in the middle of the 3rd quarter, urging the defense to get a huge stop.
3rd and 11. Wills just to the left of Max Fowler. They set up the screen for Bo Wills. He drops the pigskin. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down coming up for the Bulldogs. Fowler getting up a bit gimpy there. I think he may have taken a lick at the end of the play. So it's 4th down and 11 here for UMS Wright.
The floodgates were open. The pressure was there. A great play call. It's just he could not complete that pass because of all of the height that was in front of them with their hands up. Just couldn't put enough oomph on the football to complete that. And Vigor will be set up here to return this punt.
Jamarian Osborne heads back inside of the 10. Nice punt by Denton Elliott. Osborne's going to stay away from it. Takes a little backspin. They're going to mark it at the 13-yard line. So Vigor comes onto the field with their 2nd possession. They hold tight. And UMS Wright, the farthest they could penetrate was the 41-yard line, Cory.
And I will say this, it was a tremendous play call by the man you see right there in the white long sleeve shirt. The winningest all-time high school football coach in the state of Alabama, Terry Curtis, had it dialed up correctly. Just the execution for Fowler was not what it needed to be. And McKenzie, Coach John McKenzie now getting ready to survey and see and help Sammy Dunn offensively to try to get more points on the board.
Cory, I think Coach McKenzie might pop us on the hands. We didn't get the family to shout out because we know they always tune in to watch his broadcast when he's on the network.
Well, it was hard to find Coach McKenzie. He's superstitious before the contest starts, and we had to get up here to our perch atop 913 North Wilson Avenue in this press box, and we'll see if Vigor decides to go into center and run the football.
Sammy Dunn at the pro-style set, hands off to Carlos Benjamin, cuts outside the numbers, gets the 1st down plus some more. He gets past the 30-yard line up to about the 32. And a 20-yard gain right there by Carlos Benjamin.
You can start guaranteeing that Vigor can control the line of scrimmage as we get deep into the 3rd quarter. The difference is probably close to 50 or 60 pounds from O-line to D-line, and all it takes is getting the running back past the line of scrimmage as we're seeing Dunn go under center.
Another run by Benjamin.
Great job, Luke Phillips, filling the hole from his linebacker, his will linebacker position. Has a little help from his dog linebacker as well, but positive yardage on 1st down. 2 yards, as a matter of fact, brings up 2nd and 8 for the Wolfpack. Dunn back in the shotgun now, Al.
Waiting for the snap. Dunn has time, goes over the top. He's got a guy waiting for it. Garrett Holcomb, pass incomplete. Takes Vigor to 3rd down.
3rd and 8 now for the Wolfpack. Vigor saw something they liked in that one-on-one outside matchup. corner was beat on the throw.
And I believe if Dunn had kind of gotten that one more out in front of Holcomb, because Holcomb had to wait on the Cory and kind of maybe lost it in the lights. But if he had led him a bit more, if he could have put some more spin on it, that could have been a touchdown for the Wolves. 3rd and 8 here. Once again, trip receivers to the near side of the Vigor sideline. They got them in a bunch set there. And I believe Coach McKenzie may be calling a timeout.
Going to be a delay of game.
Delay of game. He couldn't get the call in enough time. So that's the 2nd delay of game penalty tonight against the Wolfpack, pushing it back 5 yards.
What you have done is you have John McKenzie, who has his offensive coordinator, KJ May, right next to him signaling in plays. And Coach McKenzie, with that trips to the right, can continue to go deep.
Dylan Jackson went into motion, flag on the play. Dunn escapes all the pressure, goes straight up the middle, and takes the slide. Wish Tua would have slid last night. He's down at the 45. Let's see what the penalty infraction is going to be. And looks like referee Paul Brooks is saying this might be a legal man in motion. A legal shift against Vigor. That'll push him back 5 more, Cory.
Now you're at 3rd down and close to 18 yards to go. And what you have an opportunity here to do is just give Dunn enough time, give him a clean pocket. And we've seen his wide receivers go high point the football. So the biggest thing is here as to what type of protection Dunn is going to get. He gets back under center here on this possession.
The line to gain is the 44. They go with the quick draw. Up the middle goes Carlos Benjamin. Clock continues to run. And here comes the special teams crew for Vigor. Their 2nd possession in the 2nd half. Does not turn up any points.
Punting the football away, we saw UMS Wright have 10 guys at the line of scrimmage. On the last one was tipped, so no roughing the punter. They're going to bring the house again. We'll see how the exchange is.
Whistles, and we have a penalty flag on the far side near the UMS Wright sideline. False start against the Wolves. It'll remain 4th down. It'll push him back 5 more yards.
That is the 5th penalty, according to our statistician Matt Moore, of the half, and does back the Wolfpack up. But special teams wise, it has to be a clean snap, because I see the gunner from the outside coming, was able to tip it last time.
Oh, this punch straight up and literally straight back down. And UMS Wright is going to get excellent field position inside of the red zone. The ball is being spotted, Cory, at the 18-yard line.
And that's what happens.
Of Vigor.
You're able to bring that type of pressure and not create any type of blocking wedge there. And UMS Wright's offense takes over. It is their 2nd best field position of the contest. And I think we are going to take our heat time out right now, Al.
I believe at 6:15, Paul Brooks is calling for it. Let's take a look at the schedules for both of these teams, their remaining schedules for the season. We'll get those up on the screen. For UMS Wright, they're going to be off on a bye next week. Then they have T.R. Miller. And then they're pretty much going to be region tight, Cory. Citronelle, Williamson, Alberta, and Faith Academy. One would say they've got 2 heavy hitters to face on the backside with Citronelle and Williamson. And they're going to face Phillip Rivers and his son Gunnar Rivers to wrap up the season. So that's why this ball game tonight is really critical. If you can get a region win tonight, be off, and then you're out of region with T.R. Miller, then you have conference play. Let's take a look at Vigor's schedule. Vigor's got a bye week coming up as well. Have theirs in the middle of the schedule right after Citronelle. That'll be a tough contest. They'll have to drive up Highway 45, then Alberta at Faith Academy. The last 2 region games, Williamson and Rain, cannot overlook those, Cory, by no means. Halloween night, they host Vigor.
Yeah, great finish coming for both of these schedules. Plenty of football left to be played as UMS Wright on the attack here, trying to get points on the board.
Max Fowler rolling out, decides to keep it. They're going to say he is down. He is down, not a fumble on the play.
And it was close to being a fumble. I know we may have a great camera shot as Fowler is upended. Did he lose this football at the end as he goes head over feet right there? The ground cannot cause the fumble.
Elbow,
and
yeah.
He was down there. And
right there.
Again, you look at him sacrificing his body, picking up a tough 5 yards, 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
UMS right at the 13-yard line. They hand it off to Bo Wills. He cuts out back in. Just kind of runs into a pile of Vigor Wolves. I don't know if he even gained a yard on that possession, Cory.
Just runs so hard and downhill. And Greg Crosby, weak side linebacker, 5'11", 190-pound senior, with the stop for Vigor. It brings up 3rd and 6. And you know, again, timeout here called on the field. But again, 3 points. Does that really help UMS Wright at this point in time?
It does not. Kamari White down on the field in pain. Trainer's taking a look at him. And Cory, UMS Wright has to punch it in. A field goal does nothing at this point. It just basically puts you down 20. You got to get a score. You got to get 6.
Yeah, and it would keep you from being shut out because, like you said, when was the last time we saw the Bulldogs be shut out?
It was last season. They lost to Gulf Shores 7-0. So about 6 games since they've been shut out. So it actually had a shutout last year. So hadn't been too long, Cory. And we know who won the 5A state championship last year. That was Gulf Shores.
Absolutely, and it just goes to speak how tough that region was a year ago and how tough it is again this year. As you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, 4 teams coming in undefeated in the region with Centronell, Williamson, UMS Wright, and Vigor all battling for home playoff position in 3rd, and we'll call it a long 4 yards to go for the Bulldogs.
Hand off to Bo Wills. He switches the ball as he took the handoff from Max Fowler. I think it kind of threw his rhythm off, and he ran right into the line.
Seth Kidd, the nose tackle, 6'1", 260-pound senior with the stop. And I mentioned Terry Curtis not looking for any moral victories with 3 points on the board. On that replay, you can see the outstanding solo tackle by Kidd. On 4th down, we've seen Vigor get a couple of stops here tonight in the red zone. We'll see if they're able to add another stop, as we'll see if Fowler's going to roll this pocket out or not.
Empty set for the Bulldogs. He rolls to the left. And I believe that's going to be a touchdown. UMS Wright on the board. Camden Taylor with the reception. Touchdown for the Bulldogs.
Just like I said, his strength is rolling out the pocket. We've seen him do that several times tonight. He's able to find Camden Taylor, rolls to his left, throws across, and Camden Taylor comes away with his first receiving touchdown of the season. And what a huge, huge scoring drive for the UMS Wright Bulldogs here late in the 3rd quarter of action to avoid the shutout and convert not only a touchdown, but also on 4th down.
Kingston fan on for the PAT. It is up and it is good. UMS Wright on the board. They avoid the shutout. 23-7 is our score.
Thank you. You're welcome. Ayla, hi. Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you? Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Yeah. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week brought to you in part by Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friend Neil Patel at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. Also, BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from basketball to volleyball and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. Got to thank both of our sponsors for being on board with us, and definitely to the Firehouse crew, Corey. Another superb night of feeding the crew here for the Game of the Week.
Great sandwiches, cookies, and chips, and I encourage you for all your catering needs to check out Firehouse as they took care of our crew tonight. And no onside kick predicted here as UMS has finally gotten on the board and fanned to kick it away.
And there is the onside kick. That's a live ball. Gets up to the 48. And I believe UMS Wright may have stolen possession. We shall see.
No, it touched the kicker first. It has to go 10 yards.
It does have to go 10 and can't touch an offensive player.
Go back and look at the replay. The kicker fan, as soon as he kicks it, it bounces and hits him probably 5 yards into the kickoff. And Terry Curtis, I didn't think he was going to try to sneak one right there, but here is Fan getting ready to kick it, and boom, it touches him as soon as he
right off his
kicks it
chest. Right off of his chest. Good eyes there, Cory Bounty. So once again, UMS Wright tries to steal a possession. It backfires. Vigor with the ball. Great field position. 47-yard line of UMS Wright.
Here's where you go deep. Just a straight go route here by Vigor if they're able to protect Dunn.
Try to get the kill shot. Dunn squirts out of trouble. A bit too high for Carlos Benjamin. That's the same thing I was sensing, but UMS Wright broke through and brought some pressure and flushed him out.
And he has to have a clean pocket. The last couple of possessions, we've seen Dunn go under center, and we've also seen him play from the shotgun. When he went under center, we knew it was going to be a run play. And when he stayed in that shotgun, you have to protect him in the pocket and not allow the great defensive linemen to converge on him. If you give him time, he can put it on the money.
Second down and 10. Nice run by Demetrius Johnson. It's going to take Vigor to third down. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She's got some information to share with us. What's going on, Kim?
I was able to speak with a few of the personal trainers down here on the sidelines and ask them what efforts they are doing in order to keep these players healthy and safe. And one of the main things is keeping them hydrated. They said not only with water, but also keeping electrolytes in them. And then when they see someone on the field that is cramping up, they help them work it out by massaging them, stretching them out, and they even have some pickle juice over here on this side to hopefully get that cramp out. But we've been very fortunate not to see very many of those through our broadcast. So what these personal trainers and coaches are doing is working, keeping our players safe and healthy.
You're right about that, definitely making a difference. We saw a couple of the Wolves kind of somewhat cramp up. It has been mostly, Cory, since the second half, not too much in the first half. That screen play pretty much went nowhere for Vigor, so it's going to be 4th down and 9 coming up. The Wolves in no man's land, might as well go for it, up 23-7 over UMS Wright.
Whenever you run right here, you want to make sure that it's beyond the sticks, and you don't want to have a little screen pass that's too short. Run it beyond the first down marker.
Dunn looking to get it out. Pass incomplete. Intended target, Jamarion Osborne, so it'll be ball over on downs as that drive comes to an end at the 46-yard line.
And Dunn rolled out of the pocket that time, very similar to what we saw UMS Wright do on their 4th down play. The difference is UMS was able to convert not only a 4th down into a touchdown. That rolling out of the pocket didn't work because Osborne was not able to squeeze the pigskin. 1st and 10 Bulldogs from their own 46.
Timeout being called by Vigor. It looks like John McKenzie is going to take a timeout and discuss some things with his team. 3:01 remaining in the third quarter. We'll take a break and be back with more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose. Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
For executive producer Quentin Howard, technical director Wade Ford, and the birthday boy, our engineer Fran Conway, celebrating his birthday today. We appreciate you tuning in to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. 1st and 10 for the UMS Wright Bulldogs. Look at Bo Wills III, bust one up the middle, north and south. Gets the first down for the Bulldogs.
Great job of pushing the line forward, and great job of the offensive line pulling on that play. And it's Holloway and Belanides, Smallwood, Lathan, and Williams all pulling together, creating that 1st and 10 opportunity for Terry Curtis and the Bulldogs with 2:50 here in the third quarter of play.
Perry Hand goes into motion. They go back to Bo Wills. Vigor eats him up. No gain on the play for UMS Wright.
And that's just great defensive line play, beating at the point of attack the offensive lineman. No gain, as you mentioned, Al, but Bo Wills III, he just runs tremendously hard.
He really does.
Keeps his legs churning. He's an upright runner, but you're not able to rip it away for sure.
6'2", 206. He's a big fella, Corey. 2nd and 10 here for the Bulldogs. Let's see what Terry Curtis is going to dial up. 2 receivers to the near side here on the Vigor sideline. Fowler rolling out to the left. That's his strong side for him tonight. Cuts back up the middle, needs one block, can't get it. He's going to take a loss right there of about 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 12 here. UMS Wright still behind the sticks.
Seth Kidd with the stop and brings up money down, 3rd down and 12 yards to go for Terry Curtis as we approach 1:30 remaining, with the Wolfpack leading 23-7 over UMS Wright. And for really this entire game, we've seen UMS Wright be on the plus side of the 50 of the Wolfpack.
Fowler back to throw. Across the middle, he tried to hook up with Thomas Bertacci. He ran that slant pattern, and Fowler just led him a bit too much. So once again, it's 4th down for the Bulldogs. This time 4th and 12. On the previous series, they went for it. They got it in, got the score. But you're right, Corey. You can't punch in field goals. You need touchdowns right now.
Have to have your best play call here on 4th and 12. The dean of coaches here along the Gulf Coast, we'll see what he's able to dial up on 4th and 12.
Fowler waiting for the snap. He's got time. He's going for the big shot. Just past the outstretched hands of Bertacci. Ball over on downs. Great coverage right there by the Wolves. And UMS Wright comes up empty on that possession. Started off with great field position on that series, but it is ball over on downs. Vigor takes over. They're going to have the ball at their own 43-yard line.
I like the play call, though, because what you're maybe trying to get is a PI
True.
there on Vigor.
Right.
Negate the 11 yards that you had to go. But Sammy Dunn, his last 8 passes have been incomplete. We'll see if he's able to get into an offensive rhythm on this drive.
65 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Handoff to Carlos Benjamin. Look at him. Instant offense. That's what I said about the starting lineup with this kid. He's got some wheels on him, Corey. He can go.
We'll see him be able to crank out yards after yards, as I know he's going to be earning 100 yards the hard way here behind this big offensive line. Picks up that fresh set of downs, and it's going to be right at the Bulldog 43-yard line.
That was a 20-yard pickup by Benjamin on the run. They feed him the rock again. Look at him weaving his way, trying to take it in. Carlos Benjamin, 2 plays, 43-yard touchdown run for the Wolfpack.
And what happens is Carlos Green Pants Benjamin, he cashes in to the green end zone, and now he has his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. This young man rushed for 1,300 yards a year ago, and this big offensive line just kept wearing down on the Bulldogs defense. Once he gets into the open field, he uses his strength and power to finish across the goal line. Green Pants in the green zone.
Low snap. Fremont's kick is up and through the uprights. Vigor extends their lead 30-7 over UMS Wright. Coming up soon, we'll have the game of the week, Brain Buster, so make sure you stick around for that. We'll put the question out there and see if Cory Bounty can get it correct. I think you're 4-0, Cory, or 3-0 so far on the season, so stick around for that. The game of the week, Brain Buster, headed your way. Quite ironic. We've seen UMS Wright having to go to the air to get back in this ball game. Vigor's flipped the script, Cory. You talked about them running. They have now run 2 big runs right there from Carlos Benjamin. Extends their lead by 7.
12 carries, 130 yards, and a touchdown for Mr. Green Pants. The verbal commit to Mercer is able to punch that one in, but credit the offensive line for giving him a hole to hit.
Right.
And the fact that John McKenzie decides to go ahead and go to the running game after the incompletions that were happening. Vigor gets back in control on the scoreboard, leading 30-7 as we get ready to close out the 3rd quarter of play.
Fremont sets up for the kickoff. James Holland takes it at the 25, cuts up the middle, past the 35 up to the 37-yard line as we get ready for probably our last play of the 3rd quarter. Get up that scoring drive from the previous series. We had it up, and it must be Friday the 13th, Cory. It literally did. Oh, there it is. 43-yard touchdown run by Carlos Benjamin Jr. 2 plays, 57 yards. Only used 46 seconds. Once again, Cory, you said it. Vigor striking quickly. I think if we had a time of possession clock, UMS Wright will probably be in the lead with time of possession tonight. Vigor scoring quickly when they do get the ball.
Max Fowler, we'll see him hand the ball off to the workhorse for the Bulldogs, Bo Wills III. And as we come to a close here of the 3rd quarter, UMS wants to continue to try to control the clock, even though they're trailing on the scoreboard, haven't really been able to turn it up offensively, long distance and explosive-wise in the passing game.
And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. Vigor on top 30-7. And that means it is time for our game of the week Brain Buster question. We'll get that put up for you here, Cory. All right, the last time UMS Wright missed the playoffs was 1993. That same year, Terry Curtis led this school to the playoffs. Cory, name that school. Right. Last time UMS Wright missed the playoffs was 1993. That same year, Terry Curtis led this school to the playoffs. Name that school.
Well,
put on your thinking cap, Cory.
I will definitely put on my thinking cap and see what we're able to come away with here.
We'll reveal that answer coming up momentarily here inside of the fourth quarter. Vigor all in control. Something about these two programs, in the past 10 seasons, UMS Wright is the winningest program in the Gulf Coast area. They have a record of 112-21. During that time, they've won 3 state titles, 2017, 2018, and 2019. The Bulldogs also had 7 seasons of at least 11 wins in the past 10 years. Now, on the converse, Cory, in the past 10 seasons, Vigor is the winningest public school program for MCPSS. They have a record of 80-39, 13-7 in the playoffs with 8 appearances. And of course, they won the Class 4A state title in 2021. So we talk about 2 elite, 2 consistent playoff going programs. This is what we're talking about with UMS Wright and Vigor.
UMS Wright, though, 4-20 since 2000 when scoring less than 10. Only 4-20.
Not looking good. Not looking good for the Bulldogs, Cory. Perry Hand with the carry right there for UMS Wright.
And here, if you're Vigor and defensive coordinator Michael Perry, you're making sure you tell your team, don't get caught looking at the scoreboard.
That's right. That's right.
We're in a situation to where we don't want UMS to score over the 7 points. And Terry Curtis, again, the controlling of the clock and being able to grind it out is something that he has no problem of. They're not a quick strike offense.
No.
They're going to come right at you downhill and with a quick passing game.
Wills goes into motion. Back-to-back carries for Perry Hand. Nice run right there. It falls forward, about a 3-yard pickup. So second down coming up here for UMS Wright. And they're kind of playing a little tempo here, Cory, as well.
And you have to. I mean, trailing 30-7, even though you're not an explosive offense, you still have to do things with a purpose. Because, again, 30-7, we looked at the final score 1 year ago. I think the final score was 31-9 in favor of the Vigor Wolves. Very eerie, similar score here, 30-7
You're right.
tonight.
Ball on the other side of the 50 at the 49 of Vigor. Fowler's pass complete to Denton Elliott. Elliott fights forward, has enough for the first down, so the chains will move for the Bulldogs.
Outstanding job of Elliott catching the football and moving the chains as the clock stops until the chain gang gets it spotted. And once they do, the clock will continue to roll. And now at the 41-yard line of the Wolfpack, the fans and the band urging the defense to step up and continue to hold this UMS Wright offense out of the end zone.
First and 10, ball at the 41-yard line of Vigor. They hand it off to Bo Wills, and he is just eaten up by the Wolfpack defense. He takes a 1-yard loss, pushes them back to the 42.
Antonio Kelly, again, a huge impact player.
Right.
That I mentioned at the beginning of the game, having a big-time defensive effort, and it puts the Bulldogs at 2nd and 11 here from the Wolfpack's 42-yard line.
Kelly had an interception early in the contest, led to Vigor's 2nd score tonight. So he's having a good night tonight for the Wolves. Elliott goes into motion. Fowler's got time. He's going to air it out. Pass incomplete. Intended for Camden Taylor. I don't see any flags on the play, so it pushes 3rd down and 11 here for UMS Wright.
And that's exactly what you're looking for by taking that big shot down the field. We saw it on 4th down on the last time, just trying to find some type of PI, hoping that Vigor bumps you going for the interception before you have a chance to catch the football. But 3rd and 11, that is tough down and distance, and it is full steam ahead for Kentonio Kelly and Chicken Guerra from his linebacker position to try to tee off on Max Fowler.
Timeout called by Terry Curtis and the Bulldogs. Uses his first time out of the second half. 9:50 remaining in the game. All right, Cory, let's put up the game of the week, Brain Buster. You've given you enough time here. Here's the question. The last time UMS Wright missed the playoffs was 1993. That same year, Terry Curtis led this school to the playoffs. Cory LeBounty, name that school.
Yeah, it's either Shaw or Murphy. I know he had a tremendous job.
Either Shaw or Murphy. Okay.
Late 80s, early 90s
All right.
at Shaw, but I'm going to say it is the Murphy Panthers.
The Murphy Panthers.
In 93.
In 93. All right, let's see if that is the answer. And Cory LeBounty, you remain undefeated. Murphy, they went 5-6 in Terry Curtis's first season as head coach. Now, Cory, I used to do a feature here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week that was called Hitting the Numbers. So your +1 tonight is a hitting number. They made the playoffs in his first year. That was also the same year this high school that's very fond of you made the playoffs for the first time ever and got their first win. It was the LaFleur Rattlers who knocked Murphy out of the playoffs.
I definitely remember Stanley Connor.
Yep, sure.
Having a chance to be the head coach there of the Rattlers.
So that was a +1 for you.
It really was. And I will say this, you know, UMS Wright would like a lot of +1s on the scoreboard here in the fourth quarter.
They would.
And Vigor's defense is really digging in here, bringing up 4th and 11. And I know, just thinking off the top of my head here, this is probably the 4th or 5th fourth down that we've seen UMS Wright try to convert.
They definitely want to convert this one if they want to stay in the ball game. Fowler has time, throwing it back across his body, connects with Bo Wills. A little misdirection play called up by Terry Curtis, and it works. The chains are moving. That's a first down for the Bulldogs.
I will say this, once again, the GOAT, Terry Curtis, he always has something in his back pocket. He knows he turns the defensive line and the linebackers loose.
Right.
And the throwback coming out of the backfield, Bo Wills III, he is going to get a great night's rest tonight. That ice bath, he's going to say thank you after the game for sure.
Wills with the carry, bust through, upended near the first down marker. He's going to be short about 1 yard. Nice run right there by Bo Wills III.
Second time tonight, we've seen someone upended. And Brandon Coates, the free safety on this play, you see how high Bo Wills III runs, and Coates was able to get right underneath them. Glad he was able to stay healthy and stay holding on to that pigskin for the Bulldogs.
2nd and 1, and Max Fowler calls a timeout. No, correction. John McKenzie calls timeout for Vigor, so uses his second timeout here in the second half at the 8:54 mark. Wants to talk to his defense. This defense comes in the ball game only giving up 4.3 points a contest, and so far they've given up 1 touchdown, 1 score to UMS Wright. Let's take a look at the 5A standings here in the area. Talk about the importance of this ball game. Currently, right now, as you see, UMS Wright undefeated 2-0, Vigor 1-0. They're playing each other. Citronelle and Williamson are playing at Ladd Stadium. We said it earlier, Cory. All the undefeated teams are playing each other tonight, so that's why this ball game had such significance. If Vigor gets a win tonight, they will go to 2-0. They would leapfrog UMS Wright at 2-1, and if Citronelle gets the win, then Citronelle and Vigor would be tied for first place in 5A Region 1. So that's why a lot's riding on stake in this ball game tonight.
Well, for the Bulldogs, you want to come out of this game just with something positive, because their next game is against TR Miller. You want to stay healthy. You want to continue to show that there's no quit. And any Terry Curtis coach team, they're going to play all the way until the horn sounds at the end of the fourth quarter.
They hand it off to Perry Hand, runs behind the guard, between the guard and the tackle, gets the first down into the red zone once again for UMS Wright.
That LaFleur Faith Academy game has gotten a lot more interesting. LaFleur leading 26-21 over Faith Academy. And I know Gulf Shores and McGill-Tulane, it's 14-10. Saraland all over Spanish Fort, 35-17. And Davidson was only trailing by 3 at the half to Fairhope, 21-18.
Wow. That's shaping up to be a good ball game as well. 1st and 10 from the 19. Fowler on the run, rolling to his right. Pressure on him, not letting go. Was he outside of the tackle box? You can see Paul Brooks walking up. No flag yet. They're saying incomplete. He's calling an official over. He wants to discuss it.
They're going to discuss whether there was any wide receiver in the vicinity.
And that too, right.
Devin Whitsitt with the pressure for the Wolfpack, being able to almost tackle Fowler down before he was able to throw it away. And
you can
love
see
when
Paul
officials
Brooks
come
motioning.
together, talking,
right,
working together to make sure they get the correct call.
And we do not have instant replay here at Wolfpack Stadium. So it's going to be 2nd down, no grounding on the play call against Fowler, and the Boo Birds come out from the Vigor faithful.
Coach Curtis not happy on that far sideline with one of his players, and he's giving him an earful right now.
Play clock under 20 seconds. Bulldogs have to execute 2 timeouts left. Play clock at 10. They hand it off to Perry Hand. He's got a hole. Gets past the 15 up to the 14. Still going to be short. 3rd down and about 4 or 5 coming up here for UMS Wright.
When your free safety is the one who starts to make tackles, as did right there Brandon Coates, you know that UMS Wright is continuing to have success with their blocking schemes at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down here, big play, as Cory calls it, money down for the Bulldogs. They toss it out to Bo Wills. You know he likes to run north-south. Straight up he goes just outside of the numbers, and that is a 1st down as Wills gets inside of the 10 down to the 8.
Wills is just so tough, folks. I mean, he is the epitome of your throwback 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of back. Bo Wills III, 206-pound senior, just wheeling his way to that 1st down. We've seen the Bulldogs here in this situation early and turn the ball over.
1st and goal from the 8. Direct snap to Wills. He falls forward a couple yards, loses his mouthpiece at the same time.
And that is 5 first downs on this drive. Wow. For 14 plays on this drive here for the Bulldogs, and it's an impressive clock control drive.
It really is.
And you don't want to come up empty. We saw them in this same end zone get into 1st and goal from the 1 and wind up turning the ball over on downs, almost at their 15 or 16-yard line.
Ball at the 7, hand off to Perry Hand. He turns the corner. Boy, he's met by a wall of Wolves defenders, but he gets up to the 6. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line for UMS Wright.
Kentonio Kelly on the stop, and the clock continues to churn, and this may be our last play before we do have our heat timeout come into effect, but it is 3rd down and goal to go for the Bulldogs from the Wolfpack 6-yard line.
Definitely 4-down territory here. As you commented, Cory, they've gotten it about 4 or 5 times. Max Fowler guns it in there. And there's the signal, touchdown, 6-yard touchdown pass to Camden Taylor, and UMS Wright scores again.
Almost an identical play to what we saw on the 4th down call that led to the first Bulldog touchdown. Terry Curtis decides to roll the pocket for Max Fowler, does so, and a great route right into the end zone. The short side of the field, Camden Taylor has his second receiving touchdown
Sure does.
of the night for the Bulldogs, and almost an identical play when they scored on the other end zone. It was a rollout to the left. This one was a rollout to the right. Same results, equals 6 on the scoreboard.
Fan with the PAT is good. UMS Wright cuts into the lead. 30-14 is our score.
Our children with special needs deserve a place to play. That is why we are coming together to build the Miracle League of West Mobile Schmidt Family Park. It will include a special needs ball field and playground, regulation baseball and softball fields, and more. We have raised more than $1 million and construction will start soon, but we need your help to complete the project. Visit MCPSS.com/Miracle League to donate and to learn more. Any dollar amount will help bring a smile to a child's face. Together, we can make a miracle.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Parents, don't forget, mark your calendar this Monday, September 16th, Professional Development Day, so no classes for the students. Make sure you make some plans. No classes for the students this Monday, Professional Development Day. Also coming up September 30th will be a virtual distance learning day, so mark your calendar for that. So this Monday, and then the last Monday in September, kids will not be at school. All right, Cory, could the third time be the charm for the Bulldogs? We've seen Terry Curtis roll the dice and do an onside kick twice here in the second half.
Well, you know, I've talked about it. He is the master of special teams plays. I talked about what UMS Wright has to do. They have to be field position pros, where here's another great way for Vigor to counteract that with one of my checklist items, having special teams coverage here. And you know what's coming because you have to have possession of the football. It's not like the NFL where you have to declare an onside kick.
That is right.
We'll just see here if Mr. Fan is able to execute it.
Let's see if Vigor has the good hands team out here. And they punch it all the way out with a kick. Kevin Malone has it, drops it, picks it back up at the 7, and is swarmed by the Bulldogs, almost escaped, works his way up to the 9-yard line.
Well, there's an interesting strategy for Terry Curtis because earlier when I did believe he was going to kick it deep, he attempts the onside. And with 5:46 remaining and needing another possession with 2 timeouts remaining in his pocket, he decides to kick it deep to the Wolfpack. Now, we saw Carlos Benjamin have great success running the football on that last drive, and that was a 16-play drive that the Bulldogs just scored on, so this offense is fresh.
UMS Wright down 2 scores. Demetrius Johnson with the carry. I think Terry Curtis is going to roll the dice and see if the defense can get a stop. Johnson, no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 coming up for Vigor.
Johnny Megason, 6'1", 176-pound senior with his 7th solo tackle of the season. Does a great job coming and making that stop without allowing Vigor to gain positive yardage.
2nd and 10 from the 10. They toss it out to Carlos Benjamin. Benjamin runs out of bounds, picks up maybe 1-2 on that carry. So it's going to be 3rd and long here for Vigor. I don't know if the down marker actually moved. Let's see, Cory. It's still 3rd and 10.
Well, I know this with the
no gain.
With the problems that Vigor has had punting the football, this is the biggest play of the game for Vigor and
unfortunately,
UMS.
Benjamin went out of bounds. That stopped the clock, Cory, at 4:57.
Something to keep an eye on here on 3rd and 10 yards to go. The matchup there is Garrett Holcomb at the bottom of your TV screen. We'll see if they decide to go to him or whether we get a stoppage of play first.
We have flag on the play.
Timeout was called by Vigor prior to the penalty flag.
Just before it expired, so John McKenzie burns his last time out. You want to make sure you don't get the delay of game. You're at the 10-yard line, but most importantly, get the right play call in at this juncture. With Benjamin going out of bounds, that stopped the clock. Right now, the clock is Vigor's friend. You want the clock to continue to run.
And I think that's one of the things that Coach McKenzie and Coach May are emphasizing over there in this Vigor huddle.
Stay in bounds.
30-14, Al, 4:57. I was wondering why Terry Curtis decided to kick that football deep.
Now you see why.
It's because he feels he had great coverage by his special teams, and he trusts his defense to put Vigor in a punting situation, something that they've struggled with tonight. They have had probably a 7-yard punt. They've had a punt that was almost blocked, and you really look at the positive side of things for Vigor from a kicking game. It was the one field goal that Vigor was able to put on the board.
Power I formation for Vigor. They go to play action. They talked about it. There it is, Cory. You called it, and there's the PI. Ball intended for Garrett Holcomb. Charlie Jeffrey gets flagged.
You know, I use my eye in the sky here in the box to see Holcomb's matchup one-on-one with no help over the top.
None.
You trust Dunn with being able to throw that ball on the money and catch Holcomb in stride. UMS had no choice but to have the pass interference call, and now that opens up your playbook. If you're able to get this ball and hand it over to Carlos Benjamin, you see Holcomb there trying to find the football.
And Jeffrey got lost. He got lost, got turned around, and ran right into Holcomb. And very smart of Holcomb, too, Cory, to hold up on his route and turn around. And you can sell it a bit easier for the PI call as well. And they go to the ground game of Carlos Benjamin. I'm pretty sure John McKenzie told him, young man, stay in bounds, stay in bounds.
Absolutely. Holston comes up and makes another stop for the Bulldogs from his Sam linebacker position, leads his team in tackles, was an impact player tonight, and you can see why, being very active as he runs sideline to sideline very quickly for this UMS Wright Bulldogs defense.
No gain on the play, 1st and 10. Or 2nd and 10 from the 25. Benjamin tackled for a loss. The down marker still says first down, Cory. The previous play should have been first down. There it is now. They jumped ahead. 3rd down coming up here for Vigor.
And what you're seeing is 3rd and 10 for the Wolfpack. And you just want the clock to continue to run. If you're John McKenzie, if you're able to get the ball to the perimeter to your speedster Benjamin or Johnson, they get it past the line of scrimmage, they're turning it up.
3rd and 10 here coming up for Vigor. Dunn has time, steps into the pocket, still has time, releases it. Pass is complete to Dylan Jackson, and that is a first down, Cory.
Great job of the patience and the pocket presence of Dunn. You see elite footwork there, staying alive in the pocket, waiting for his wide receiver to come back. You see the replay, Dunn with his eyes down the field, doing a little dancing in the pocket, stops, starts, and again waits for his wide receiver to come back to the football. Jackson able to do so, and a fresh set of downs for the Wolfpack.
Clock stopped momentarily to move the sticks. Jackson stayed in bounds when he caught that ball. We're under 3 minutes here in the 4th quarter. Handoff once again. This one goes to Demetrius Johnson. Did the ball come out? A flood of Bulldogs ran right into the pile. Nope. Stays with Vigor. 3-yard pickup for Demetrius Johnson.
Ball security is huge here if you're the Wolfpack, and Sammy Dunn just has to continue to mastermind this offense and encourage his teammates to make sure they do take care of the ball.
Second down here for Vigor. DeAndre Chambers from his tight end position actually steps over in the backfield, picks up a couple. It's going to be 3rd down, but most importantly, Cory, the clock continues to run for Vigor.
UMS Wright with 2 timeouts remaining, electing. We'll see if they decide to use it here after this 3rd down possession, but Vigor up 30-14, looking to go ahead and come away with a huge 5A Region 1 win.
Remain undefeated, but most importantly, remain undefeated in region play. That is the key. Wolfpack missed the playoffs the past 2 years, and in the past 2 years, literally one game kept them out of the playoffs, and that's a 1st down, probably going to seal the deal. 91 seconds remaining here in the ball game.
Great job by this offensive line, just imposing their will. You see that great shot of John McKenzie there directing this Wolfpack squad to continue to finish this game with a lot of discipline.
We'll get our Career Tech Player of the Game up here in a matter of moments. Not much time remaining here in the contest. Sammy Dunn airing it out. Pass incomplete, intended for Jamarian Osborne. Stops the clock at 1:03.
And Sammy Dunn comes back over to the sideline and talking with Coach McKenzie on what needs to be done there. And there he is. Looks like there's a flag on the play, Al, as well.
Penalty flag, I believe ineligible receiver downfield. Going to push Vigor back.
Not a lot of penalties, though, when you think about it as a whole for Vigor. Very clean first half with only 1 penalty being dropped.
First and 15 here for the Wolfpack. They keep it on the ground. Carried by Jamarius Robinson, his first carry of the ball game. Under 1 minute here, and the Vigor faithful, they can feel it as they start rising to their feet, Cory.
Another big win for John McKenzie as they get ready. The 28 seniors that are on this roster next week at Centronel. And Centronel, last time we checked, was losing to Williamson over there at Ladd. So that game next week definitely looks like it will be for sole possession of first place.
Correct. And next week, we're going down to BC Rain. It'll be Williamson versus BC Rain. So another 5A Region 1 contest headed your way as Vigor's going to get this win tonight, 30-14. We'll get our Career Tech Education Player of the Game up here for you momentarily. This young man had a really great night tonight for the Vigor Wolves. Sammy Dunn Jr. of Vigor had 3 touchdowns that he threw tonight, Cory. Big ball game for Sammy Dunn Jr. tonight, our Career Tech Education Player of the Game.
Yeah, that's what you want to see out of your impact players. You want to see them make a huge difference in the game. Sammy Dunn was able to do that. He has proved to be a tremendous leader in his first year for this Vigor Wolves team, and it equates in a huge performance by him. More importantly, a big win for John McKenzie and this Wolfpack team.
And speaking of John McKenzie, him and Dunn seem to be clicking. John McKenzie has a great offensive mind and backed up by KJ May, offensive coordinator. This could be a nice situation here for Dunn over here at Vigor.
Yeah, I know Coach McKenzie's going to talk about cleaning up the things that they didn't do well in the second half.
Right.
And the turnovers there for UMS Wright in the first half led to the undoing. But this Vigor defense, they bowled up when they needed to, Al, had huge goal line stops.
Sure did.
And again, had and created turnovers and were able to capitalize on those turnovers.
Take a look at the final stats tonight. As you can see, a well-balanced attack by Vigor, 170 on the ground, 174 through the air for 344 total yards. No turnovers. Very key for Vigor tonight, Cory.
7 penalties for 45 yards. That will be cleaned up next week, moving into Centronell. Only 2 for 30 for UMS.
Right.
But more importantly, the 30-14 final score with the Wolfpack protecting 9-1-3 with that mentality. 9-1-3 versus everybody.
9-1-3 versus everybody. We told you next week we'll be headed down to BC Rain for Williamson versus them. But let's toss it down to Kimberly Dunn. She's with the winning coach, John McKenzie.
Coach McKenzie, you're now 4-0, another region win for your team. How are y'all feeling, and what improvements are you hoping to make in the coming weeks?
A lot of work. I mean, but we're very happy about a win. We're very happy about our record, so we're not disappointed by that by no means. But we just want to get better. We just, we want to get better next week. We want to get better Sunday, and that's the motto of the team. We got a goal in mind. We want to play 15 weeks. We had a lot of adversity this week, but I'm glad they continue to fight through all the adversity that's placed upon them.
Well, congratulations, Coach. I'll let you go celebrate with your team.
Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right, Kimberly, that's something Coach McKenzie told us. He sees a deep playoff run from these kids. Next week, we're heading down to the dip. It's Williamson versus BC Rain, another 5A Region 1 showdown for our MCPSS high school football game of the week. For Kimberly Dunn, Cory Bounty, our statisticians, China Powell, and Matt Moore, I'm Al Whedon. Thanking you for joining us tonight. Vigor gets the win and remain undefeated. Have yourself a great weekend.